How do you design one of the most advanced ERs in the country? At Parkview, we did it by focusing all our attention on you, the patient, by involving doctors and nurses in the design process, by creating quieter, more private spaces, and by leading the region in heart, stroke, and trauma care. This is not your typical emergency room. It's Parkview. In an emergency, isn't this where you'd rather be?
Parkview, your partner in health.
Joe Parsons.
In all, 321 schools will begin sectional play. 5A and 6A schools wait a week until next Friday, but it all begins tonight elsewhere. And the fight for survival, chance to play another week, maybe win a sectional championship, and maybe even much more. Greetings, everyone. Welcome into Zollner Stadium. Along with Joe Walburn, I'm Joe Parson. Opening night here for the Class 3A Sectional 27 as the red-hot Concordia Lutheran Cadets. They play host to the Yorktown Tigers. Well, Yorktown finished at the bottom of the Hoosier Heartland Conference, going just 2-7 overall, 1-6 in fact in conference play. And if you're unfamiliar with the Hoosier Heartland Conference, it includes Delta, it includes Newcastle, Shelbyville, and also that team called New Palestine. The Dragons are 9-0 this year. They're 50-2 over the last 4 years. And you're looking at the Tigers. They have lost 7 of the last 8 ball games. They did win 2 weeks ago at Pendleton Heights in overtime, 17-14, but they entered tourney play after a 40-21 loss at home to Mount Vernon last week. The most points Yorktown has scored this season came in a game in their season opener at Anderson. They scored 35 points in a 4-point win at Anderson. They seem to play better on the road, Joe. They're 2-3 overall on the road, but 2 of those losses on the road have come by a total of just 6 points, and so Concordia cannot look past the Tigers here tonight.
No, they're battle-tested. They've played in a very good conference, and you mentioned it. And overall, Joe, they've lost 3 games by 13 points. So they've been competitive in the games, and they've had moments in games where they played some good football. So what makes them dangerous, I think, Joe, is their ability to throw the football. And what they're going to do is they're going to try to run their backs in Damon Allen and Britton Wheat, but what they want to do is come back over the top with the quarterback, Brogan Miller, who's thrown for over 1,400 yards. Now, he's not extremely accurate. He's only completing about 44% of his passes, but what they want to do is they feel like the strength of their team is their wide receivers and Kevin McNamara and Brant Applegate. So what they want to do is they want to throw the ball over your head and stretch you deep, and they feel like for other inefficiencies in their offense, Joe, they can make it up by attacking you with the passing game. So I think Yorktown, they don't have the record, but I think this is a little bit of a dangerous game because they have the ability to throw the football and attack Concordia through the air.
No question about it. Concordia, meanwhile, owns a 6-game winning streak. Cadets are averaging over 43 points a ball game over their last 3 victories. That includes a 42-0 shutout victory last Friday night over Northside. But how about the defense, Joe? No touchdowns surrendered over the last 2 ball games. You know, what tells me they gave up just 3 points to a very good Carroll team, and that speaks volumes.
Yeah, we talk so much about offensive football, but I think really also the story with Concordia is their defense. Only 92 yards last week to Northside. Now, I know it's Northside, but still, 90 yards is phenomenal. And on the season, Joe, they're only giving up 123 yards of passing a game. So I think that's going to help Concordia tonight because it's their strength on defense, their pass defense, against what Yorktown does best. But I also think that Yorktown's going to have some issues with Trey Freeman. Joe, he comes in with 13.5 tackles for a loss. So, you know, I'm just dying to talk about Peter Morrison and the numbers, but that defense with Trey Freeman, Andrew Bordner, Keontre Hughes, those guys are stepping up and playing excellent football for Concordia.
You're going to enjoy Tim Manigal's comments coming up after the break. Concordia fans hoping tonight is the start of something very special, at least a continuation, maybe we should put it. And we will first need to get past the Yorktown Tigers tonight, talking about the Cadets. We'll take a break, and we'll return for our Midwest American Federal Credit Union pregame show and a very special visit coming up with Cadet Coach Tim Manigal. This is IHSAA Tournament Football on Fox Sports, 1250, The Ticket.
Ready to give up on your continual neck and back pain, injections, maybe even surgeries? Nothing seems to be working. Maybe it's time to check with Aaron Chiropractic, where real relief could be forthcoming through a treatment plan including manipulation and exercise. Yes, it's true. A return to the quality of life you thought may have been lost forever just might be started with an initial phone call to Aaron Chiropractic. It all starts with identifying the real source of your pain. First analysis, detection, and then treatment. Why put up needlessly with another day of pain? Call Aaron Chiropractic. Get started back on the expressway road to relief. Aaron Chiropractic, 260-492-8811 in Fort Wayne, 492-8811.
Every great team has focus and talent. At Parkview Sports Medicine, our focus is on you. Our roster includes everything from sports nutrition to keep your body fueled to orthopedic surgery, athletic rehab, and more. Parkview Sports Medicine's got you covered. You can trust us to bring together the top team of experts in sports medicine to improve the performance and treatment of every level of athletes. Go to parkview.com/sportsmedicine to learn more. Parkview Sports Medicine, upgrade your game.
At Indiana Michigan Power, we're building the future of energy delivery. From renewable energy to grid innovation, we're developing a smarter way to power your life. With the addition of 4 new solar power plants, you can take comfort knowing that more than half of the electricity that we generate is emissions-free. I&M is honored to sponsor local area high school sporting events and proud to be your hometown energy provider.
American families are facing a major problem nowadays. It's called extreme student debt. It's affecting graduating students, even those with jobs, for years and years trying to pay off their student loans. But there is help available to students in Northeast Indiana. From nonprofit Cuesta Education Foundation, Cuesta is ready to provide low-interest or even forgivable loans to qualified Northeast Indiana students. Take a second look. Check Cuesta to see if your student qualifies for a chance at graduating with as little student loan debt possible. Cuesta can make a difference. And it all starts with simply logging on to QuestaFoundation.org. That's QuestaFoundation.org.
Dude, I'm pretty nervous for this date. Nah, you got this. First dates are all about finding what you have in common. Like putting sweaters on dogs? Sure, but I was thinking about going to a place you both like, where you both can get your favorites. Oh, like McDonald's. Exactly. But do yourself a favor. Please, don't tell any of your elevator jokes. But they work on so many levels.
Here's a deal that's no joke. McDonald's new McPick 2 for $2.50 menu includes McDouble, 6-piece chicken McNuggets, small fries, and hot fudge sundae. Limited time only. Prices and participation may vary. Price of single item posted on menu.
Time now for the Midwest America Federal Credit Union pregame show and a special visit with coaches to set the stage for tonight's game. Let's go back to the stadium with Joe Parsons.
And so it begins for Tim Manigal and about 18 other schools around the state of Indiana. Of course, 5A and 6A start next week, Coach. But the tournament trail for the cadets here tonight, been a storybook year. You know, we've talked a lot about Peter Morrison and what he gives you offensively. And last week, you ran a young sophomore, over 100 yards rushing, and you got a lot of weapons.
Yeah, I mean, obviously last week we got hit a little bit by injury. We had some guys sitting out who we kind of looked at it as a Week 9 game where there's really just not much to gain. We weren't playing for a conference championship, and so we played some other guys. We probably don't have quite as many weapons as you think we do. Our depth is still probably not where it needs to be, but yeah, some guys stepped up last week, and honestly, yeah, we've got at the first string level, we've got guys we think that they can contribute in a big way.
How about Curlegrand coming along? I know he's been battling some nagging injuries, but he's a guy you need the further down the trail you go.
We think he's as close to 100% tonight as he has been probably since Week 3 when he suffered the injury. He's looked good in practice all week. The tail will be in the tape when he gets out here in a few hours here for the game, but we think he's pretty good to go.
He looked pretty good returning that kickoff.
Yeah. Well, right. I mean, he's slowly but surely getting there. And again, last week we just held him out. There was no real reason to play him. There wasn't much to gain, so he should be good to go tonight.
Really want to ask you about your defense. I mean, shutout last week, first of the year, and then against Carroll, I thought that was the statement, just giving up a field goal, no touchdowns, and you got to be really proud. You know, they say you win games with offense, but you win championships with defense, and that's been true for Concordia.
Definitely getting better each week, but I really feel like we've been pretty good all year on defense. for whatever reason, our offense gets more press. Maybe that's just the way it goes. Scoring a lot of points is flashy, but our defense plays well. I mean, we're a very physical defense. We changed it up at the beginning of the year, our alignment, in order to get more guys out on the field that we think are athletic, and I think that's paid dividends for us as we've gotten used to it, we've played well lately, particularly.
Let's talk about the Tigers. They come in just 2-7 on the year. They've got a senior quarterback, Brogan Miller, good to running back, and Dawson Allen, and a good receiver with 40 catches, Applegate. I don't know if you've had a chance to see him on film, but they've been kind of a tough luck team, too. 4 games decided by 7 points or less.
Oh, no question. I mean, they are a very good 2-7 team, and I think our team has they have our full attention, because if they don't, if our guys are thinking this is just some 2-7 team coming up here, we're in for a sad night tonight. They do a lot of things well. You can tell they're very well coached, and that they do nothing to beat themselves. Very few penalties, very few turnovers, always aligned correctly. The 3 guys you mentioned are good football players, maybe particularly the receiver stood out on the film that we saw. He's quick. They use him in a variety of ways out of the backfield. They've got plenty for us to worry about. We have to be ready to go tonight.
Head coach Tim Manigault with his pregame comments as he brings his cadets in at 7-2 on the year, and they are ranked in 3A. The coaches poll has them number 4, and in the Associated Press number 7. 7-2, obviously, in the SAC. A year ago, they were 5-6, 4-5 in the SAC. They lost at Belmont in the sectional semis, 38-7. Mike Wilhelm is the head coach of the Yorktown Tigers. They are 2-7. They finished 1-6 in the Hoosier Heartland Conference. 2-3 on the road, and 2 of those losses very close ball games. A year ago, they were 2-9. They lost to Bishop Luers in the sectional semifinals, 40-7. We are about 7 minutes away from the start, the kickoff, and we'll be back in 3 minutes. This is IHSAA Tournament Football on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
And the Taylors. These neighbors both refinanced their homes to take advantage of a better interest rate and to lower their monthly payments. The Murphys used a big bank and spent their vacation money to pay $2,300 in closing costs. Meanwhile, the Taylors paid only $199 by choosing Midwest America's special 10-year refinance program and didn't need to use their vacation money. Looks like this year, the Murphys will be getting the Taylors' mail while they're out of town. Find out about Midwest America's 10 and Done program, where you can own your home in just 10 years. Visit us online at MidwestAmerica.org for more details on this and other refinance options and first mortgages. You can also call or stop by to speak with a mortgage specialist at one of our branches located in Fort Wayne, New Haven, Columbia City, Decatur, and Huntington. Midwest America. Altogether better. An equal housing lender.
Here's some good policy from your local agent and Auto Owners Insurance. When your insurance policy comes from us, it comes with something extra, a real person. Don't buy from an insurance company with an 800 number and a voicemail menu. Auto Owners Insurance operates exclusively through local independent agencies here to help you 24/7. Now that's good policy.
Call Tom New and Schwander and Amscus Insurance with offices in Fort Wayne and Ossian, 260-622-4169. Just like your car, sometimes your laptop needs a tune-up. Or worse, a virus hit you, completely shutting down its functioning. But who do you turn to for quick help? The answer might surprise you. Alpha PC Mac Computer. We're the other guys, and we're better. With realistic turnaround times for service, more reasonable rates, friendlier service that works with you and solving problems. Don't settle for the other guys. Try Alpha PC Mac Computer, located just 2 blocks north of Glenbrook Mall. Call 444-3557 and ask for Dave.
The market goes up, the market goes down. And if you're a typical investor, you may be playing games, trying to guess correctly when to buy, when to sell. That can be expensive and exhausting. Well, what if there was a local company with tons of investment experience to help you take some of the guesswork and worry out of investing? The name is Stifel, specializing in individual portfolio management. Stifel can help reduce the risk and worry of investing, building you a portfolio of quality, performing stocks and bonds. Give Stifel a call at 260-459-3989.
Bumper Insulation is celebrating 60 years, so they've seen a few things.
the Civil Rights Act of 1964.
That's one small step for man.
And a few more.
His or her freedom, or the precious gift that is America.
I put the initiative creating the internet.
So here's Charlie to tell you more.
Charlie Momper Installation, celebrating 60 years of meeting homeowners and contractors' demands with professional installation. 60 more. Thank you, Momper Installation.
And now back to the IHSAA football game of the week with Joe Parsons on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Waiting for the teams to come out here at Zollner Stadium. Concordia taking on Yorktown in this sectional 27 3A opener. Other games going on elsewhere in the SAC. Remember, the 5A and 6A teams start next week. But in 4A, Dwenger plays on the road tonight at Marion. Other games has Leo at Southside, Norwell at Belmont. Some of the 3A matchups. New Haven ranked third in the highest ranking in the polls, hosting Wayne tonight. And number 14, Lures on the road at Northwestern. Let's check some of the other matchups. Heritage is at Jimtown tonight. Number 1, Woodland in both polls. They host Bluffton. And as we mentioned, the 5A, 6A teams start next week. 50 degrees here under mostly cloudy skies at Zollner Stadium. Winds, they say, will die down. Right now, they tell us winds out of the north-northwest at about 7 miles an hour. But it has been gusting. Probably sun was out earlier, but winds gusting up to maybe 10, 15, maybe occasionally 20 miles an hour. But they say it will die down somewhat. The wind still kicking up at times here. And it'll drop into the mid-40s tonight. And the wind chill will be down into the low 40s before this game ends here this evening. Checking some of the numbers coming in as far as scoring offense, Yorktown comes in averaging 18.7 points a ball game. Concordia 37-2. Defensively, the Tigers give up 30 a game, and the Cadets just 18.8. They had that 42-0 shutout last week over Northside, while the Tigers were losing to Mount Vernon 40-21. Passing offense, the Tigers average about 161 yards a game offensively. Concordia lighting things up over 250 yards a game offensively through the air. Meanwhile, Concordia is giving up just 123.4 through the air. Rushing offense, as far as the Tigers, they're averaging about 119 yards a game on the ground. Concordia averages 147.7. Well, the Cadets out on the field. Our referee tonight is Olin Roberts, crew out of the Fort Wayne area. And we're waiting for the Tigers to come out of the dressing room, and we'll have the reenactment of the coin toss meeting at midfield here coming up shortly. Tigers opened their season with a 35-33 victory at Anderson. Then came 6 straight losses, won by 1 point in overtime. 4 of their games decided by 7 points or less. And Yorktown comes into tonight's sectional game after that 40-21 loss last week to Mount Vernon. Marauders led 12-0 at the end of the first quarter, 19-7 at halftime. 6'1" senior quarterback Brogan Miller. He was 11 of 29 through the air for 166, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. He was sacked 3 times. Concordia, well, after starting the year 1-2, the Cadets have now won 6 straight ball games, including a 42-0 shutout victory at Northside last week. Minus Keaton Collinger and Colton Grahovic, who did not play last week. Concordia still led the Legends 28-0 at halftime. 5'7" sophomore running back Nick Craddock. He ran for 110 yards on 21 carries, averaged over 5 yards a carry, and scored 1 touchdown. Let's go down now to midfield for the introduction of the players and our reenactment of our coin toss.
All right, gentlemen. Hey, welcome to sectional play. Good luck to both teams tonight. Hey, think about what we talked about sportsmanship earlier. Let's have a lot of that tonight. White, just so you know, there is a horn on the clock. Play through it until you hear our whistle, all right? Any last-minute questions of me? All right, Black had won the toss. You elected to defer. White, you elected to receive.
There you have it, Joe. Concordia wins the toss, so they're going to kick. So we'll get a look at that Concordia defense early on and that matchup with the Yorktown passing game. So as far as field conditions, Joe, it's wet, a little bit muddy. I don't think it'll be a big issue, but ball security could be an issue. It's nice and cool. Fall's definitely arrived, and it should be a good night. I can't believe it's the first week of the playoffs, but a big one tonight for Concordia.
It's football weather, and we'll be back in 30 seconds with a kickoff. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
True Goodness Foods by Meyer are made from the philosophy of less and more. Less of what you don't want and more of what you do. There are no hormones or antibiotics in the raising of our meat. And True Goodness Foods never contain any high fructose corn syrup, artificial flavors, colors, or preservatives. We use wholesome ingredients like peanut butter made from just peanuts and tortilla chips made from corn, oil, and salt. That's it. And at low Meyer prices, True Goodness is good food your family will love. Find True Goodness Foods at your local Meyer today.
You're listening to the high school football game of the week on WGL Fort Wayne, Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
With Joe Auburn, I'm Joe Parson. Welcome back to Zollner Stadium as we're ready to get this one underway. Brent Applegate will be back in kick return, one of the two kick returners. They also have Kevin McNamara. He's got 14 kickoff returns this year. Had one for 15 yards last week. Applegate with 5 kickoff returns has got a long of 31 this year, and we're just about ready to go to work here. Concordia won the toss deferred. They'll kick from left to right, and the Tigers out of the south end zone. Short kick bounding around. That's fielded up around the 22-yard line by Applegate, trying to turn the corner. Gets across the 30-yard line and up to about the 34, 35-yard line. That is where the Yorktown Tigers get ready to start 1st and 10 as we start this ball game and give Joe Auburn a chance to catch his breath coming up those. And boy, you feel like you're back running, getting ready to play football, right?
Yeah, run those stadium steps, I tell you what. Plus, it's a little cool out there, so it kind of takes your breath away.
It is definitely football weather. Here we go now. Tigers coming up to the line of scrimmage. McNamara splits wide to the left side. Shotgun formation for quarterback Brogan Miller. He is 6'1", 180-pound senior, and looks to hand the ball off and does give it off the right side. That was, I believe, Britton Weed on the carry. He's a 5'11 sophomore. Carried 14 times last week against Mount Vernon for 93 yards. That's over a 6.5-yard average per carry, and picks up 1.
Yeah, he's strong, young kid, has a good set of legs on him, Joe, and he can run between the tackles.
Just one wide. They'll pitch the ball now, and here's a run to the left side, trying to Concordia. They string that out very well. It'll be a loss back around the 22, 21-yard line as they were coming en masse in the dark-shirted Concordia Cadet defensive unit.
Yeah, they've done a nice job with their defense this year. They seem to be much faster to the football this year, so one of the better defenses in the conference, Joe.
Loss of 3, flanked to the right side. Applegate leads them with 40 catches coming in. Here's Brogan Miller. They screen the ball. There's running room in the middle, and he's got a first down and much more is in the second level into Concordia territory down inside the 40, all the way down to about the 38-yard line.
Yeah, and that is their game. Yorktown wants to attack you by throwing the football, and that time it went to Kevin McNamara, Joe. 29 catches for 351 yards, almost 12 yards a catch and 3 touchdowns, but that's how Yorktown wants to attack you. 2
protectors in now for Miller. Looks to hand the ball off on the read option. Off tackle run to the left. That stopped at the 36-yard line. So again, no huddle offense. 2 very good receivers, Applegate and McNamara. And they look to be playing up-tempo as well.
Yeah, they want to play fast, and they're going to be patient. They want to pound you with the run game, but they want to come back and throw over your head.
Wheat comes on the wing, right side. Dawson Allen, the running back, but here's Miller to throw the ball in wide and short. Intended at the 30-yard line. Near side, that was Applegate on the intended reception, but it'll bring up 3rd down and 9 now. Long yardage situation for the Tigers. They've got it at the 10:41 mark. 3rd down and 9 at the 37 of Concordia.
And that's been the knock on Yorktown, is Brogan Miller at times just doesn't set his feet and throws a catchable ball. And that was and on that situation there, Joe, he threw a very poor football. That's why he's only completing 44% of his passes.
Now from the left side hash mark, 2 wide to the right, including Applegate and McNamara. Shotgun formation again. Miller looking, and he'll keep the ball himself. Off runs to the right side. He's got running room, but then tried to make a cut and slipped inside the 35 at about the 33. That will be about 4 or 5 yards short, and we'll see if Coach Mike Wilhelm is going to call the punt team, or in a game like this, some in the state, the media have predicted 59-0 in Concordia, and Wilhelm might feel like, you know what, we've got to go every time we get a chance.
Absolutely. You're 2-7. You want to get off to a good start against Concordia.
Again, 2 protectors in there, either side flanked of Brogan Miller. Concordia, they showing blitz. No, they back away. Play clock is at 10, and so does Brogan Miller. It looks to the Yorktown sidelines to get the play wagged in now. Now they've got a motion by Dawson Allen to the right side. And here is Miller. Throws back near side. Screens to Applegate. And what a driving tackle. Knocks him down at the 36-yard line. Great play defensively that time by Concordia's knifing in there. I believe that was Tyson Chambers.
Yeah, Tyson Chambers read the play, and the play call was just absolutely atrocious for Yorktown. Concordia did a nice job of getting up to the line of scrimmage and playing man-to-man, and everybody was on the line of scrimmage. You can't run a wide receiver screen against that. You have to throw the ball down the field, but credit Concordia and that pass defense again, Joe. It stepped up all season long and stepped up there.
Concordia won the toss deferred, so now they go on offense, stopping the Tigers. Here's a run up the middle, and that's Curligran into the second level, and he's all the way down to the inside the 45 to the 42-yard line, picking them up, laying them down.
Absolutely, averaging 5.5 yards a carry this year, 9 touchdowns, and really we've seen him split the carries with Morrow, so now they're going to go with Curligran, and we'll see if they can really get that run game going to complement the passing game.
Tim Manigal told me we need Curligran. He's got to go now. We're in the tournament. It's one and done, so every play, every game means a lot. 2 wide either side of the field, 1st and 10. Cadets at the Yorktown 42. Here's Morrison, looks near side. He's got a man, that's Grahovic. Grahovic runs after the catch inside the 30 down to the 25-yard line. Gained an extra 5 yards as they finally caught up to him, as it was Parker Bright that made the tackle.
Just seems to always be open, 5'11", 165, kind of reminds you of those slot receivers the New England Patriots have. You know, they catch everything. Small, compact guys that are very athletic. And on the season, Joe, you know, he's has over 600 yards of receiving and 6 touchdowns. So not as big the numbers that Mahler's has, but really a excellent per catch ratio.
Remember, Mahler's in motion now, right to left behind the line of scrimmage. Here's a ball, and it's caught. They've got a wide receiver screen. Here's a run inside the 10, all the way down to the 6-yard line. So knocking on the door to the Cadets, looking to draw first blood in this ball game. Joe, I started to say that Keaton Kohlinger is gone for the year with an injury, and Grahovic has been battling a shoulder, but again, Coach Manigal said everybody's playing tonight that's able.
Exactly. It's the playoff time. You got to suck it up and play. And I know that Grahovic has had a sore shoulder, but, you know, they need him out there because without Kohlinger, they need those receivers to be able to attack. So the one issue with Concordia, Joe, is they don't have a lot of depth, so they have to watch the injuries, and guys that can go have got to play.
Curligran, the running back under center this time, is Morrison. And there was a hard count. There was movement of the line of scrimmage, and that might go. Let's see if it's encroachment against the Tigers. Backing up, though, it's going to be procedure against Concordia. So that cost 5 yards to the Cadets, who come in averaging about 38 yards a game in penalties against Northside last week. They had 3 penalties for 28 yards.
Yeah, they're one of the more disciplined teams that we've seen this year. They don't make a lot of mistakes, so that's kind of uncommon to make that mistake, especially down the goal line, because it takes away that run option here.
Now they're going to bring in, that's Anderson Drew, who checks into the ball game. 3 wide to the right, 1 wide to the left side. That's the short side of the field. Pistol alignment now for Morrison. Drops the throw, looks left, pulls it down, throws back, and has got a diving. No, that ball is dropped into the end zone. Looked like Bordner was the intended receiver down there.
Yeah, he had man-to-man coverage. He had run the trips to the right, Joe, and come back with man-to-man coverage to the short side. And he wanted the post. He wanted the post corner. He just couldn't get the ball out there that time to do it. Pretty good defense by Yorktown that time. So You don't see Morrison miss a lot of passes. I mean, Joe, it's unbelievable, the numbers. 27 touchdowns, 4 interceptions.
And he's run for 5.
32 touchdowns in the season. That's incredible production.
2nd and goal with the ball back at the 11-yard line now. Morrison checking that Tiger defense. They'll work from the left side hashback once again. Here's the option to run. Pitch comes. Curligran looking to make a move inside the 5. It's into the end zone. 11-yard touchdown run by Peterson Curligran at the 7:44 mark. And the Cadets on the board to leave it early at 6-0.
And he's the one piece this year that we kind of scratched our head. We didn't see a lot of Curligran running the football this year when we did Concordia games. So now with the playoffs coming, we're going to get a big dose of them. And they need that ability of Curligran to plant the outside leg and run downhill with his pad level. So that's a good sign for Concordia to get him involved in the game, Joe.
Morrison now on to attempt the extra point. Right-footed kick is on the way. Got the distance, but he missed it. Pushed it wide to the left side, I believe. So it will stay 6-0 in favor of Concordia on the Peterson Curligran touchdown run, his 10th of the year. And we will be back. This is IHSAA Tournament Football on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
You've heard the saying, it's all about the Benjamins. Nothing could be more true at Tom Steele Tire, where it's all about saving you money. For over 35 years, this family-owned business has been saving Fort Wayne drivers lots of Benjamins. Offering quality tires and ASE-certified mechanical service for your car, and that includes an oil change and tire rotation special, all for just $24.95. 2 convenient locations in Fort Wayne to serve you. Tom Steele Tire, not just a tire store, but a complete automotive center.
Let's get back to the stadium with more IHSAA football action and Joe Parson on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Glad you could join us tonight here on Fox Sports with Joe Auburn, Joe Parson with you. 6-0 Concordia in the early lead as they stopped the Yorktown Tigers on downs, took over their 36-yard line, and finished off an 11-yard touchdown run by Peterson Curligran.
Yeah, had the big run to start the drive off and finished it off with the touchdown run. So I think it's important that he gets involved. He's such a hard-nosed runner, Joe, and I think if Concordia can get the run game going, it'll complement their passing game.
Concordia kick again, kind of a pooch near side. That's fumbled away by McNamara, free ball, but I think he fell on it at about the 23-yard line. That one took a funny bounce, and McNamara was looking behind. He was looking around. He couldn't find it initially, but did just in the nick of time jump on it.
Yeah, they were fortunate. He seemed to kind of just continually look around for that football. So McNamara is not very big. He's only about 150 pounds, Joe. He's 6'1", but just not a very big kid. But he seemed like he had all the time in the world to cover that football.
Offensive line for the Tigers averages 240 a man, tackle to tackle. Matt Phillips at center, Colton Yarger and Kelly Watson at guards, Brady Mariotti and Sean Yamas, who's a big kid, 6'3", 315 pounds at tackle. Shotgun formation again, 2 protectors in, motion Applegate near side. And read option, then they'll run the ball, and that's a gain across the 25 up to about the 26. Let's see if that's a...
That was Bordner on the tackle, Joe. He comes in, their leading tackler, with 46 tackles. So Bordner is a heck of a player. He goes about, Bordner goes 6'3", 190, maybe about 200 pounds, but he's a heck of an athlete, Joe.
Jordan Spangler comes in as the running back. Now they flank him off to the right side. Wing back on the right side is Britton Wheat, sophomore at 180. And here is the throw, and that one is caught by McNamara in trying to step out of a tackle. Can't get the job done. Does get a gain across the 30 to the 31-yard line. That's short of the first down stick. And again, a pretty sure tackler in tackle that time by Concordia in the open.
Yeah, important to come up and make those tackles because Brogan Miller does a nice job of throwing that hook route. And I was watching him in warm-ups, and if I'm Yorktown, I continue to work those outside wide receivers throwing those routes.
Looks like Applegate now comes tight to the left side as here is a straight-ahead carry, and I'm not sure if they're going to get to the first down stick, up to about the 34. That's close to the first down. Well, it depends on the spot.
He's short. He's going to be about a yard short, Joe, and now I punt the ball here if I'm Yorktown, because if you don't get this, all of a sudden, I think they may possibly go for it. You don't get this and give Concordia the short field, it could be down 2 touchdowns real quick.
Dawson Allen comes back in as the running back. It's 4th down and a yard. And for the second possession, they're going to gamble on 4th down, but this time it's at their own 33-yard line, needing a yard. Concordia showing blitz up the middle, and now Brogan Miller backs away. Play clock shows 5. Shotgun formation once again. Ready, and still coming with a hard count. We're down to 0, and did they call a timeout? They did just before the play clock expired. So 6-0 Concordia, 5:40 on the clock with a timeout called by the Tigers. Time in for this IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 1250, The Ticket.
Every small business person has the same dread: taxes, reports, and bookkeeping. What are you to do? You know you can't afford the big guys to keep you legal and solvent? Well, now there's Walburn Financial Management to save the day. Here's their number. You're going to want to remember this one: 260-459-2240. That's 459-2240. Why? Well, Walburn Financial Management specializes in the little guy. With reasonable rates and sensible retainers, Walburn Financial Management, simply perfect for the small business budget.
And now back to the IHSAA football game of the week with Joe Parsons on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Well, Mike Wilhelm might be rethinking his strategy to go for it on 4th down, Joe.
Come on, that never works. You know how they line up and they bark? I mean, that never, ever works. And now you blow a timeout. Now you're going to punt the ball away. You should have just punted the ball away in the first place. Save those timeouts.
Well, he has been a coach that has experienced some success. 12 years he's been the head man at Yorktown. 2014, they went 11-2, won a sectional championship. 2008, they were 10-3, also with a sectional championship. This year, not so much. Now they flip-flop the tight end to the right side, and they look like they're going to go for it, and they do. They give the ball, and they've got the first down. And in the second level, and much more, midfield, 40-yard line, and that's a run by Dawson Allen. Allen will go to the end zone for a touchdown. It was 4th and 1 at the 33, and that is going to be a 67-yard touchdown run on 4th and 1.
And how about Dawson Allen with the speed down the field? And I think we all kind of got put to sleep. We kind of thought he'd come back out of it and punt. But, hey, you're right. You talked about the success. And he comes out and he dials up a great play. And the right offensive line, Joe, just seemed to collapse the whole line. So they were led by Sean Limas, who just seemed to collapse the Concordia defensive line. Huge play for Yorktown, and Yorktown's here to play, Joe.
Brevin Smith on to attempt the extra point that would give them the lead. Right-footed kick is on the way. It is deep enough, and it is good. So it is Yorktown trying to pull the surprise upset here against the ranked Concordia Cadets. They lead it 7-6 with 5:29 on the clock. We'll be back. This is IHSAA Tournament Football on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Where do savvy sports fans in the Summit City go when they need to know more than just the score? It's an easy choice. No other media outlet covers the local sports scene like the Journal-Gazette. You get 7 days sideline coverage from the area's most experienced and knowledgeable sports staff. It's a commitment to Fort Wayne that the Journal-Gazette takes very seriously. When you need to know the story behind the story, nobody delivers the goods each morning like the Journal-Gazette. And even when you're on the go, you can still catch up on the latest sports news online at www.journalgazette.net or from your mobile device at www.jgmobile.net. Start your sports day right, every day, 7 days a week with the Journal-Gazette.
Let's get back to the stadium with more IHSAA football action and Joe Parson on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Well, that will get cadet fans' attention now as Yorktown, prohibitive underdog in this game supposedly, but having the lead now at 7-6.
Yeah, I mean, I couldn't believe some of the predictions we saw with this game. It's not going to be 59-0. I mean, 8 senior starters, and they've played a tough schedule, and they've lost a lot of close games.
Well, en masse, they bunch up and run up to the ball, then back off. Play clock is at 16, so they threaten the onside kick. Wouldn't blame them. But now we're ready to go. They spread it out, and here comes the real kick, and they will squib the ball right side. That's a free ball, and let's see if Concordia, no, it looks like Yorktown's got it somewhere around the 41-yard line. Let's wait for the official indication.
Yeah, it looked like Yorktown recovered it, Joe. Looked like it was their wingman that jumped on it. And I tell you what, Concordia is typically not such a big favorite. Most years, Concordia is the underdog. And the one thing about being a big favorite is you're hunted. And right now, Yorktown is hungry, and they're going to pull out all the stops on Concordia. So we saw them go for it on 4th down. We see the onside kick. So, you know, if you're the underdog, you have to roll the dice on some of those plays. And right now for Yorktown, it's paying off.
So 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line is where they recover the ball, and the Tigers have got a chance now to extend their 7-6 tenuous lead. Two wide to the right side. They'll run the ball, trying to turn the corner, but falling down on the cut was Jordan Spangler. He's a 5'10 junior and had 6 carries against Mount Vernon for 49 yards. He averaged over 8 yards a carry last week. But, Joe, you mentioned when you were down on that turf, a little bit wet and muddy in places.
Yeah, it's slick. And that time Trey Freeman came over and just dumped him. So Trey Freeman blew up that play. And it's a situation where you're not going to be able to make a lot of cuts on that turf because it's just too wet.
Loss of 3, 2nd down and 13. 2 protectors in either side for Brogan Miller. And wants to hand the ball off, and they're going nowhere that time. Handed it off to Britton Wheat, and he's brought down with a loss back at the 35. And I think that kickoff return following the touchdown has gotten the Cadets' attention, and they have come in this series with some more defensive intensity.
Yeah, they have, and they're so much more improved. They're just much improved this year on the defense, especially the defensive line, Joe. So that's 2 plays where they blow the play up. And as far as Yorktown, I just don't think you can run outside laterally against Concordia. You have to run the ball right at them or throw the ball.
3rd down and 15 of the ball back at the 46 now for Brogan Miller. Wants to throw. Looks now being pursued. Spun around. They've got him. That's got to be Trey Freeman in there. Big fella brought him down on the Yorktown side of midfield.
Yeah, 6'1", 280. Just a big kid.
You can't miss him.
You can't miss him, but how about the quickness? So by the time Brogan Miller gets the ball to step up in the pocket, Freeman dumps him. So that's a big series for Concordia, try to get this momentum back and get the ball back for their offense.
By the way, Trey Freeman against Northside, 4 tackles, 2.5 for loss last week, and 2 of the 3 sacks that the Cadets had. Now they will kick the ball away for real. Brent Applegate normally does the kicking, and angles at far side. It'll go out of bounds, and we'll see where they line that up. 2 punts last week against Mount Vernon for Applegate, averaged about 33.5 yards a kick, had along a 34. And Concordia will have decent field position with this at about their own 32, 33-yard line.
Yeah, I think it's important here if Concordia can get down the field and get a score, Joe. You want to send a message to Yorktown and kind of defeat some of those hopes, because the more of these kind of gadget plays that Yorktown can pull, and the more Yorktown can hang around, the more their confidence is going to grow.
That's a great way to put it. You let this opponent who's an underdog hang around, and it can spell difficulty. Now they bring 2 safeties back right before the snap. Still 10 on the play clock. They'll run the ball, and that's a gain up to about the 35, maybe the 36-yard line.
And that's what they need out of Curligan. It's not a huge gain, Joe, but it's about 4 yards, and that's what they need. They need some strong physical running on 1st down, because then it allows them to come back and attack with their pass game.
If you're just joining us, just over 3 minutes time remaining in the opening quarter. It is 7-6 Yorktown in the lead. Missed extra point has given the Tigers a chance to lead it by 1. Now a gain of 4, 2nd down and 6. 3 wide to the right, the wide side of the field. Morrison out of the pistol, and he'll look to screen the ball. Grahovic's got it. Cuts at the 35, at the 40, and no more. Driven back by 3-4 tacklers of the Tigers. And that will bring up a 3rd down call. 3rd down and still about 4.
Yeah, Yorktown did a nice job getting to the football that time, Joe. Grahovic thought he had some yardage, but that was shut down by Grahovic. So a big 3rd down here. And this is where I love the timing routes for Concordia. And actually, Mark Mollers hasn't caught any balls yet, so I think this would be a great opportunity to get the ball to him, Joe.
On 3rd down, Concordia last week against Northside, 6 of 10 for 60% for the year. They are at 54%. Motion, Mallers wide right to left. And here is Morrison, looks over the middle, dumps the ball off. There's a catch made, but they're not going to get much out of it. That's well defended in the middle. And only a gain to about the 41. So it still will be 4th down and a long 3.
Yeah, and they're having problems with that big boy in the middle for Yorktown, Joe. We talked about him in pregame. Sean Limas, 6'3", 295. He just blew that one up.
Yeah, Yamas is how they pronounce it.
Okay.
Yamas. And it'll be 4th and 3. It looks like now, remember,
they're going to go for it.
They're going to go for it. Everybody else is tonight. Ball's at the 41. They need a long 3. 2 wide either side of the field for Morrison. Comes with 27 touchdown tosses this year. And looks, long count from the line of scrimmage. Play clock's at 5. Looks near side. Grahovic's got it, won't get there. Wow. Well, let's see. May get a good spot of the ball up around the 43, as close to the 44. I didn't think he got there, Joe.
He did not get there. That is wow. That's I'm not going to say anything about you, Charles. I played high school ball with you. I love you, man. But that was a poor, poor spot. And if I'm Yorktown, I'm going nuts because that's a big play right there, Joe.
So they move the chains. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Cadets. Now they're short of their 45 at the 44-yard line. Ball's at the right side hash mark. 7-6. We're under a minute time remaining in the opening quarter. 3 wide to the left side for the Cadets. Morrison taking his time out of the pistol. Looks to his left. He's got 1 wide to the right. Looks near side. Throws the ball. Falling down. Trying to make the cut was Grahovic. Remember, he's got a little bit of a shoulder problem. Helped up. Good sportsmanship by one of the, well, that was Caleb Mikesel. Leads them with 106 tackles. Joe, against Mount Vernon, he had 19 tackles last week.
Wow, that's a tackling machine. Man, yeah, they said he is just has a nose for the football, and he can run, Joe. They said they feel like he can run and make so many plays. But if you're making 19 tackles, whew, that's a lot of tackles. But after the game, you got to get back on the bus and say, hey, where are the rest of you guys at?
Could use a little help.
Come on now.
Bordner comes wide in the slot to the left side. 2 wide either side. Once again now on 2nd and 10. So they had a slip last time. Now motion Bordner comes back to the short side. They look that way. Here's the pressure on. Pivoting in the backfield. Morrison, they draws a penalty flag now. Throws the ball as far as he can. He's got a man wide open. The catch. Mellors inside the 15, the 10. He scores, but it's going to come back. That would be a touchdown run of 56 yards, but, or I should say a touchdown pass play. But penalty is going to wipe it out.
Yeah, it's going to be a hold that time. I think it's going to be a hold on Trey Freeman that time. He got beat at the point of attack, and Yorktown had a bust because the minute Morrison broke the pocket, Joe, Mallers was wide open deep, so that was a heck of a throw by Morrison to put that ball on the money about 30 yards down the field. He didn't even put much air on that, Joe. He just kind of muscled that ball down there.
That was a laser shot downfield. I tell you what, Joe, he might have had 3 open players downfield. He picked Mallers.
Yeah, it seemed like Yorktown had a total complete bust in their secondary, but obviously they're saved with the hold. So that's a big penalty because obviously it takes the touchdown off the board, Joe, but look where it takes the football all the way back, too.
The 26-yard line is where they mark it. Now it does remain 2nd down, but 2nd down and 28. Cadets trying to make a big play now. Try to pick up some of that lost real estate with the ball back at their own 26. Mallers comes in motion again near side. Here is Morrison, looks over the middle. He's got Grahovic. Grahovic at the 45, 50. Cuts to the outside and tripped up and dropped at the 43. He's got a first down. Tell you what, if he steps out of that tackle, he is gone. McNamara made the touchdown saving tackle.
Yeah, McNamara lost his footing, and I thought Grahovic was going to take it to the house. But how about Morrison allowing Grahovic to clear the zone, Joe, and to hit him right up the seam in the middle of the field?
And he had a lot of open green to work with. So now it's Concordia on the move back into Yorktown territory at the 42. Nose of the football just outside. We will not see a snap as we're down to just a couple of seconds remaining. It'll be 7-6 Yorktown in the lead after one here on the road at Concordia. And we'll be back with second quarter action. IHSAA Tournament Football on Fox Sports, 1250 The Ticket.
The game just isn't the game without you. When pain or injury has you sidelined, call Parkview Sports Medicine at 260-266-4007. Whether you're an aspiring pro or a recreational athlete, our team of certified orthopedic surgeons, physical therapists, athletic trainers, and registered dietitian nutritionists will provide you with rapid access to comprehensive care and sport-specific rehabilitation. We can get you back to the action quickly and safely. Just call 260-266-4007. Parkview Sports Medicine, your dream team.
At Indiana Michigan Power, we're building the future of energy delivery. From renewable energy to grid innovation, we're developing a smarter way to power your life. With the addition of 4 new solar power plants, you can take comfort knowing that more than half of the electricity that we generate is emissions-free. I&M is honored to sponsor local area high school sporting events and proud to be your hometown energy provider.
And now back to the IHSAA football game of the week with Joe Parson on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Welcome back, everybody. 7-6 Yorktown in the early lead. We head to the second quarter. Concordia's got 1st and 10 at the Yorktown 42 now. Hope you can stick around. Join us at halftime. Charlie and Matt Mopper are going to join us from Mopper Insulation, celebrating 60 years in business. Here's Morrison now checking that Yorktown. They spread out their defense. They'll drop 2 safeties back. Here's an option run. Morrison pitches the ball late and has got Curlegrant, steps out of a tackle, cuts to the 40. Out of bounds right around the 36-yard line goes Peterson Curlegrand.
Yeah, and a quick score update, Joe. It's 7-7 Bishop Lures against Northwestern. So that's a big game in this sectional because many people feel like whoever wins that game probably will get to the sectional championship against possibly Concordia.
Other games going on tonight. Dwenger at Marion and New Haven hosting Wayne. Just a couple of those. Leo plays at against the Green tonight, Joe, against the Archers. That was a gain of 7 by Curlegrand. Brings up second. Well, let's call it gain of 6, 2nd and 4. Now from the ball spotted at the right side hash mark. 3 wide to the left, the wide side. Bunch line up in the middle. They're coming with the blitz. And here's Morrison. Spins, looks, throws, and has a catch inside the 30-yard line at the 27.
Heck of a play by Morrison to spin Joe in the pocket and to move around to get rid of that football. So he's kind of carrying that shoulder and that arm a little. Boy, I tell you what, you cannot afford. Concordia does not have the depth, Joe, to lose any guys tonight.
Tell you what, we have one of the Tigers down. And we are going to have an injury timeout, stoppage of play, brought to you by Parkview Sports Medicine, a winning combination with the IHSAA. So 7-6 our score, 11:44 remaining in this second quarter. We'll be back. IHSAA Tournament Football on Fox Sports, 1250 The Ticket.
Every great team has focus and talent. At Parkview Sports Medicine, our focus is on you. Our roster includes everything from sports nutrition to keep your body fueled to orthopedic surgery, athletic rehab, and more. Parkview Sports Medicine's got you covered. You can trust us to bring together the top team of experts in sports medicine to improve the performance and treatment of every level of athlete. Go to parkview.com/sportsmedicine to learn more. Parkview Sports Medicine, upgrade your game.
Let's get back to the stadium with more IHSAA football action and Joe Parson on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
It'll be 1st and 10 for Concordia. They've got it at the Yorktown 28-yard line. Trying to catch the number. Still working now. They've got him. Is it Applegate? Let's check it.
Lures now 14-7 over Northwestern, Joe. And Bishop Dwenger is up on Marion 13-0 in the second quarter.
That is Brant Applegate, and that is one player that the Tigers can ill afford to lose. He's being walking off under his own power. One of the trainers got his arm wrapped around him, and it looks like maybe just had his bell rung.
Yeah, I think that was a big hit on that play. And I'm more curious if Morrison's okay.
We'll check him on this snap. 1st and 10, as we mentioned. Concordia on the move now. They trail by 1 here at home. They've won 6 in a row. Maller's part of the 2-wide alignment to the right side. 2 wide to the left as well. 1st and 10. Morrison out of the pistol. Curlegrand, the running back, now motion by Mallers right to left to the wide side. And here's Morrison. Looks to throw the ball in the slot. He's got Mallers. Mallers cuts down to the 15-yard line and gave some ground. Let's see if they're going to spot him down to about the 12 or 13. But again, Joe, you know, just the ability to wait. Morrison waits for those runners, those routes to run to clear in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he is so patient to find Mallers that time. And how about the receivers, though? Mallers knows that they're going to blitz, so he runs right where they blitz from. And that's just that connection between Morrison and Mallers of playing so much football together. But you're right, Joe. You know, you watch the game, you think it looks easy, but that's the connection between those two kids.
And Morrison is a finesse thrower. I mean, he's feathers that ball in wherever they are. Grohovic splits wide to the short side to the right. Now a zone blitz coming to the defensive left side, and they've got a run, but not much there by Curlegrand. Fights his way down close to the 11.
Yeah, good hard run. Not much there, but a good fight to get a few yards out of it. Yorktown got some good penetration, so Curlegrand did the right thing. You want to plant the outside leg and drop your pads and get downfield.
Cadets, it's not been easy so far tonight. They've had one touchdown called back on a penalty. That was good for 56 yards. Missed an extra point. Grohovic stays wide to the short side, the lone wide. And again, they're going to bring everybody, at least 10 men, up within about 6 yards of the line of scrimmage. Morrison with the snap. Play action fake. Pivots to his left side. Throws. He's got a man at the 9-yard line. That's the catch made. Mallers again on the reception.
It's pretty good defense out there for Yorktown. Looked like it was Cole Barr out there, Joe, making the play. So I like the play action boot. He found Mallers, but Yorktown just came up and made a nice play defensively.
So it's going to be 3rd down and a long 4. 9:38 remaining here in the second quarter. Concordia still trails by 1. Mallers and Grohovic this time split wide to the right. One wide to the left. I believe that's Anderson Drew out here. Now a little motion to the right side. An option run. They'll pitch the ball. Curlegrand needs a block. Cuts it up at the 5. Angling right side. And his legs are taken out, but he got into the end zone. So it'll be an 8-yard touchdown run for Peterson. Curlegrand at the 9:19 mark. His second touchdown run of the night.
Nice job by Morrison to give the ball up early on the option. And Curlegrand just steams into the end zone. And it was interesting, Joe, because Yorktown never really got lined up on that play. And Concordia brought Bordner in motion. He sealed the defensive end. And nice play call with the option. So big touchdown for Concordia to get back ahead.
Cadets were 6 for 6 on extra points last week. And there was unsportsmanlike conduct against Concordia. That'll be assessed, I believe, on the kickoff. And now Tim Manigault's out there, wants to talk to Olin Roberts on what that call is about.
Wants to know what was the number. He's going to make a mental note of that one, Joe. Who did it?
Yeah, they'll chat about that tomorrow morning, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like when you were wild and your parents came home. Okay, who broke the vase?
Well, still the officials conferring.
That was a good drive, though. That was a good touchdown drive of Concordia because they were able to throw the ball, but they came back with their run game. And I like Curlegrand back there, Joe, because I think he's physical and he gives them a punch.
Penalty will be assessed on the ensuing kickoff.
Yeah, the penalty will be assessed on the kickoff, so Morrison will attempt the extra point. He's missed once tonight. Trying to give his team a lead of 6. Right now it's 12-7, but Concordia back in the lead. Waiting for the snap. Right-footed kick is on the way, and again it's pushed to the right side, and it is no good. So he is 0 for 2, but Concordia does take the lead now at 12-7. And we will take a break. We'll be back here at Zoller Stadium, IHSAA Tournament Football on Fox Sports, 12:50 the ticket.
No network is better equipped than Fios from Frontier to handle all of your devices. Get Fios TV, Internet, and voice from Frontier for $89.99 per month for 12 months with 2-year agreement and qualifying services. And you'll receive up to a $400 Amazon.com gift card. Call 1-888-FRONTIER. Limited time offer for qualifying services. Subject to availability. Amazon.com gift card requires a 2-year agreement and maximum $400 early termination fee on new TV, new Internet, and new voice services. Taxes, fees, and other restrictions apply. Fios Market owned by Verizon Trademark Services, LLC, and Youth Center license. See offer for details.
And now back to the IHSAA football game of the week with Joe Parsons on Fox Sports 1250, the ticket.
Breeze still kicking up here at Zollner Stadium. They told us 50 degrees at kickoff. It'll drop down into the high 40s. Wind chill, though, down to the mid to low 40s. And they told us the wind will eventually die down, but it does still look like it's at times gusting.
It's chilly down there, and it's wet. It's one of those just wet, damp evenings.
That dampness kind of gets to your bones, too.
Sure does.
Now Concordia with the penalty will kick from their own 25-yard line, so Let's see if Applegate is back out there. I don't believe he is. He went out defensively the last series. He usually does a lot of the kickoff returns with McNamara. But it looks like they've got, I think it's Spangler back there in kick, or it might be Dawson Allen.
You hope those missed extra points don't come back and burn Concordia.
So here we go, waiting for the Cats to kick it away. Now from right to left, they lead by 5. Line drive kick, end over end. That'll bounce. McNamara on one hop. Brings it out across the 30, 35, 40. Runs into a wall at the 46. But very good field position now for the Tigers. They go from left to right, 1st and 10. Good field position, but down by 5.
Important for Concordia to have a good defensive series here, Joe. We talked about in the pregame, they're only giving up 258 yards per game, so doing a nice job. Gave up the big run early on in this game, but overall, you know, with Andrew Bordner, Keontre Hughes, Trey Freeman, they need to step up and really kill this drive, Joe, because I think it's important that they send a message to Yorktown that we can stone you, we can stop you, and get the ball back and get another touchdown.
Applegate not out there. McNamara wide to the left, Christian Hunt to the right side. But here's Brogan Miller throw the ball, and that was to nobody. He was looking in the direction of McNamara, but I don't know. Let's see. He is 6'1", but he might have been 7'1", and still not able to get that one.
And that's been the issue this year for Yorktown and Brogan Miller. You know, I talked to their coaches a little bit before the game, and he has the arm strength, and you can see he can throw the ball out there. But at times,
the accuracy.
It's the accuracy because the mechanics and the footwork break down. I don't care how strong your arm is, you have to have the mechanics and the footwork.
Concordia drops 2 safeties back on 2nd down and 10. Motion left to right by Hunt. Behind the line of scrimmage here as Miller looks near side, screens the ball. That's knocked away. Actually hit one of the, that was Sean Yamas at 315 pounds, kind of hit him in the shoulder, back shoulder. And now it's suddenly 3rd down and 10.
Would have been fun to see if Lamas could have turned around, caught that ball, and see how far he could roll.
Yeah, I'd love to see that. I'm not sure Concordia's defenders, who go about 165, some of them, trying to bring down a 315-pounder.
Yeah.
Like a bull moose on the run. And, of course, the other thing, he's not eligible.
Yeah,
unless they
that helps,
announce it. 3rd down and 10. Trying to reach the just inside the Concordia 45. Millig drops. No, he hands the ball off on the draw. And not much there to get back to the line of scrimmage, and that is it. Jordan Spangler, not much there.
Yeah, that was a good series. Heck of a play by Concordia, led by Bordner, and make that tackle. But that was a good defensive series. So we'll see what I imagine Yorktown will probably punt here, Joe. Now a chance for Concordia to get some more momentum for their offense. So that was the series defensively that I feel like Concordia needed.
You know, it's funny. Normally we'd say, well, yeah, 4th and 9, they're going to punt the ball, but maybe not with Yorktown in this kind of a situation. I mean, we've seen them twice.
Yeah, you're 2-7. It's the first game of the playoffs. You're playing a big favorite. Sometimes you want to take those chances.
Applegate has been doing the punting now, but let's see if he's out there to punt the ball. And here is the return now across the 35, a little stop-and-go move. I think that's Mallers to the 40 and up to about the 41. So, again, it'll be very good field position for Concordia. They lead it by 5 with just over 8 minutes remaining in this fast-moving first half.
And it was so important that Mallers came up and caught that football because he could have easily let that bounce. But by catching it and getting upfield, I bet that saved Concordia 20 yards of field position.
No question, maybe even more.
He's a heads-up player and an all-conference player. 16 touchdown catches, Joe.
They will spot the ball just short of the Cadet 43-yard line now. They'll work from the right side hash mark. Yorktown dropping 2 safeties back. Now they show a little blitz from the defensive right side. Morrison out of the pistol, running back lined up behind him. Looks and wants to throw, gives ground, throws over the middle, and that's a leaping catch at the 45. Big hit, but Mallers pulls it in, and it'll be 1st and 10 at the Yorktown 43.
I liked how he jumped off both feet to go up and get that. Didn't let the ball come to him. He jumps up and snatches it. So, you know, we mentioned it, 16 touchdown catches, over 18 yards per catch, almost 800 yards of receiving yards. So what a season by Mark Mallers, and Morrison's favorite target.
Tell you what, McNamara made that hit, and he's paying a price for it. He was crawling to get to his feet and now bends over in his safety position, is trying to hang in there, play with some courage, and fight through a tough hit. Meanwhile, Concordia 1st and 10 at the 43, 2 wide either side for Morrison. One back look, drops to throw again. Morrison loads, throws the fade to the right side, has got the ball that is caught. Was that Grahovic out there?
Yeah.
Caught the ball. He's the shorter of the two players out there. The defender had him by about 3-4 inches, but Grahovic timed his leap.
How did Morrison get that football in there, Joe? I mean, I thought for sure, I was like, that's going to be intercepted. And Grahovic just jumps up and snatches it.
Yeah, the defender had the inside position. I think that was Christian Hunt out there defending, but was it? By the way, he leads them with 4 interceptions.
Yeah, he kind of slowed up, and you could tell that he had it measured, but Grahovic just makes the heck of a play to get it.
He timed his leap a little bit better. Grahovic stays in there wide to the short side, the lone wide right, 3 to the left, and picking him off the ground, Morrison. They drop the ball, and that's going to be a loss back outside the 30.
Yeah, just a very good handoff that time. I thought Morrison was down for a moment because he had his knee down, but he was able to get the ball to Curligran, but then they juggled it. So, you know, you've got to be able to hand that ball off to that back and not have an issue. And I don't want to speculate, Joe. I don't think Morrison's quite right out there, the way he's moving around.
By the way, Preston Curligran is in as the running back now, rather than Peterson Curligran. So the loss of 4 yards, second down, and 14 with the ball back at the 30-yard line. Still 3 wide to the left side. Here's Morrison, screens the ball near side. Anderson Drew with the catch and a cut to the 25. It is Anderson Drew. As soon as he caught that screen, attacked, went downfield, and he'll bring it, gets that lost yardage back, but it'll be 3rd down and 8.
And it's going to be important that as the playoffs go on, that Anderson Drew becomes a factor, because obviously we mentioned they're down Keaton Collinger with the broken foot. They're going to need Anderson Drew to step up and make some of those catches, Joe.
We have not seen Nick Craddock, the young sophomore, ran for 110 yards against Northside, 21 carries last week. 3rd down and long from the left side hash mark. Morrison barking out the signal now. Play clock at 4. We're down to 3. We're down to 2. Here's Morrison to throw. Rush is coming. He avoids that. Loads. Throws the left side. Looking to the end zone. The ball's caught for not a touchdown, but they're inside the 2 at the 1-yard line. That was Drew Bordner that went up again and made the play. And how about these cadet receivers?
What a catch by Bordner. And, you know, I was looking at him a few weeks ago, Joe, and I was kind of thinking, man, you know, 6'3", 200, maybe 6'4", maybe 225, maybe a tight end. I mean, what a catch, man. That was one of the best catches we've seen all season long.
You would have loved playing with these kids, wouldn't you?
My gosh,
as a quarterback?
My gosh, everywhere you throw it, they go and get it. Bordner had no business catching that football, but what an athletic play.
1st and goal at the 1, straight ahead carry, and that's Preston Curligran to the end zone for a touchdown.
What a drive. That was all Drew Bordner on the catch, and Concordia converts. So that was a big touchdown, because that sends a message to Yorktown that, hey, you know, you guys are going to be in trouble. We're going to come back and we're going to score, and good teams answer. So that was a good touchdown, because we're getting close to halftime. But how about Drew Bordner? I mean, you see that, and I say, why are you playing defense, brother? You know what I mean? We could take you and make you a tight end the next level. Man, that was a heck of a catch. Whew.
Now they're going to bring Kaczynski in to attempt the extra point rather than Morrison. Here's the right-footed kick on the way, and that one looks deep, and it is good. Splits the upright, so that breaks the drought on extra point conversions and makes it a 19-7 lead for Concordia. 5:18 remaining until intermission. This is IHSAA Tournament Football on Fox Sports 1250 The Ticket.
American families are facing a major problem nowadays. It's called extreme student debt. It's affecting graduating students, even those with jobs, for years and years, trying to pay off their student loans. But there is help available to students in Northeast Indiana from nonprofit Cuesta Education Foundation. Cuesta is ready to provide low-interest or even forgivable loans to qualified Northeast Indiana students. Take a second look. Check Cuesta to see if your student qualifies for a chance at graduating with as little student loan debt possible. Cuesta can make a difference. And it all starts with simply logging on to QuestaFoundation.org. That's QuestaFoundation.org.
Let's get back to the stadium with more IHSAA football action and Joe Parson on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Well, the Curligran family accounting for all the touchdowns so far tonight for Concordia. First 2 from Peterson and last one from Preston. Curlegrand and his 19-7 Cadets ready to kick the ball away again, right to left. Well, the other game tonight in the Sectional 3A, Sectional 27 matchup has Belmont playing against Norwell. If Concordia wins that game here tonight and Belmont, they would play the Braves here next Friday night at Zoller Stadium in the sectional semifinals.
Yeah, and I'd be surprised if Norwell wins that game. So Belmont, Norwell, no disrespect down Ossian, but Norwell is one of the poorer teams in the area. So I think Belmont will probably win that game. And then Lures was up last score we had, Joe, 14-7 over Northwestern. So I'm curious to see if Lures wins that game. I think Lures is probably going to show up in the sectional championship. And I think, you know, if Concordia can run through that, you're looking at maybe West Lafayette and then maybe a really good Mishawaka Marion team.
Kickoff by Concordia starts Yorktown at their own Tiger 24-yard line now. 5:15 remaining in the half. Here under center, here's Brogan Miller. Counter run off the left side, and that's going nowhere. Again, defensive right side shot through there, and that's Trey Freeman there to shut the door.
Boy, Freeman's big, but his feet are so good, Joe, and the way he can get off blocks, that's probably what I like best about him. You know, we talked about the 3.5 sacks, but 13.5 tackles for a loss. Big, stout, strong, but with feet that can get off a block and make a play like that.
No gain, 2nd down and 10. McNamara splits wide to the left side. They got one wide to the right, 2 protectors in for Brogan Miller. Now they reset. They flip-flop the tight end off to the left side. As here comes Miller, looking, read option, wants to throw, fakes the end, the high ball. He had a man open and into the flats. They were looking for the tight end out there. That was Nathan Preston.
Yeah, he was open and just couldn't hit him. You know, Miller just couldn't hit him. So that's frustrating for Preston because when you're running open as the tight end, you don't get a lot of balls. And you know, when you're open, you want that ball.
Well, he's 6'4", 215-pound senior. Had 2 catches against Mount Vernon last week, 39 yards and a touchdown. But again, even at 6'4", he had no chance for that one. And now it's 3rd down and 10. Again, Miller, read option, wants to throw, pulls it down, wants to run. Works to his right side and is driven down with a tackle at the 27, maybe at the 28, but they'll have to kick the ball away. So Brogan Miller comes in with 30 carries on the year, 140 rushing yards, a couple of touchdowns, ran for 34 last week against Mount Vernon, against the Marauders, and now they'll have to punt the ball away.
And he made the right decision. He tucked the football and got upfield. Everybody was covered, so you want to get out of the pocket and get upfield, but Bordner just dropped him, and Bordner got to him very quickly.
Cole Barr now becomes the next man up, ready to punt the ball away. Almost a short snap, but they do punt the ball away. High driving kick. That drives Grahovic back, and he can't make the catch, and it takes a bounce all the way down inside the 20-yard line. And is touched at the 14, but I think they're going to blow it dead back around the 16, 17-yard line.
It was a heck of a kick. I mean,
that was.
Typically Grahovic doesn't let one go over his head like that.
That's the backup Barr.
I know. That was a phenomenal kick.
So they'll spot that ball for Concordia just at the 18-yard line with 3:44 remaining. And the Cadets slowly coming out on the field. Was there a penalty? Officials are talking at midfield. I don't see a flag down.
I didn't see one either. I didn't see anything wrong with the play.
But the officials are gathered back up at midfield, and we'll check it here momentarily to see what this is going to be about. You know, there's a lot of pointing going on, but
it's going to be danger time for Yorktown too, Joe, because it's 19-7. If Concordia can take this ball down the field and score, it's going to really put Yorktown in a hole when they're going into halftime.
Remember, Concordia won the toss, deferred, so the Cadets will get the ball to start the second half. Let's go down to Olin Roberts. Personal foul against Concordia. Offsetting. They go both ways, so are they going to re-kick, or is that a dead ball foul? It looks like it'll be dead ball. Or are they going to mark it off both ways?
I think he was mistaken. I think it's a personal foul on Yorktown. I think he was mistaken, Joe.
Yeah. He changes it now.
I didn't see it. To be honest with you, I didn't see it, Joe.
Either way, right.
That's a huge break, though, for Concordia, because now, look where it puts the ball, Joe. Look at that field position. And now with this offense, that's a heck of a momentum boost for this offense. Instead of it at the 18, it'll be at the 34, first and 10. Correct.
And still 3:44 on the clock, and it's 19-7 Concordia lead.
And it's interesting, they're leaving Bordner in. He's played a lot of offense this half. Now, earlier in the season, we would just see him kind of in specialty packages, but he's playing an awful lot of offense this first half.
Peterson Curlegrand comes in as the running back, the one back in the set, 3 wide to the right side. First and 10, Morrison taking a couple hits tonight, but hanging in there. And he checks that Tiger defense. Now they shade two safeties to the far side. Here is Morrison to throw, looks and checks off, runs now across the 30-35 and slides down, and there's going to be a late hit. He slid down and they still hit him.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and they hit him in the head. You know, it's tough to pull up, but you can't do that. You can't dive at the quarterback's head. That's going to get a penalty every single time. Now, let's see where the football is now. I believe the football now will be in Yorktown's territory, Joe, so big mistakes for Yorktown and big breaks for Concordia.
Yeah, that's basically back-to-back major penalties.
And I love that. Don't hit the quarterback. Come on, you know what? I mean, there's a reason we wear the pink jerseys, my friend. You know?
The pink, yeah. Okay. Okay, now that'll move it well to the 49 of the Cadets, so they're just a yard short of midfield.
Yeah.
First down.
And Morrison huddles up his team, and now they break the huddle coming up the line of scrimmage. They just start the play clock. 2 wide to the right once again. Spread offense. Motion out of it. Bordner comes from left to right behind the line of scrimmage. And here's the draw. Counter run coming up. And a spin play they get a yard only to the 50-yard line.
That was Caleb Mixel that made the tackle for Yorktown, Joe. But that's the play the Indianapolis Colts made famous with Edgerrin James. That little deep draw. And that's been an effective play. And you see it all over the place now. And I like that because it gives Curlegrand the chance to get the momentum and the power going to run downhill. But Yorktown did a nice job with their linebackers to scrape and stop that.
Yeah, Caleb Mixel, we talked about him. 106 tackles coming in, 19 last week. Second down and 9 after a gain of 1 by Curlegrand. Morrison wants to throw a short drop. Looks right, throws, and a diving catch short of the first down, but at the 43.
Looks like, was that Mallers out there making that catch? Or Collinger? Wow, it was a heck of a catch, though. That ball just, I thought that ball was tipped at the line of scrimmage. It was a slant route that time. Concordia loves to get those man-to-man and run those slant routes, but a heck of a catch.
But, Joe, you talked about it earlier. These receivers for Concordia, they don't quit on the pass plays. I mean, they just go get it, whether they have to go high, whether they have to dive for it, and they just always give Morrison a chance for a completion. It'll bring up 3rd down and 2, so they were just short of the first down stick. They spotted at the 43. Now the safeties drop off. Here's a pitch coming. Curlegrand's got the first down, cuts to the outside on the border, still on his feet at the 25 to the 20-yard line, carrying tacklers. He will not go down. Inside the 15 to the 10 to the 5. He will not score, but there's a penalty flag.
What a run. Starts to the right, cuts all the way back across the field, swims a tackler. What a heck of a run, Joe. And it was a penalty behind the play. We'll see what they call, but that was about 10 or 15 yards down behind the play, Joe. I think it's going to be maybe a hold, but that was about 15 yards down the play. But what a tremendous effort, and I cannot tell you how difficult it is to cut back across the field when the pursuit is coming to you. That's why I love Curlegrand, is he can make plays like that.
Holding against Concordia, and Joe, they had a lot of hands on Curlegrand, but they couldn't bring him down until the last second before he's about to score. But now the penalty is going to move the ball back. And now there's a late penalty thrown in the backfield of Yorktown.
Yeah,
and somebody said the magic word.
Somebody said something to upset somebody, and obviously I didn't see the hold, but the hold was 15 yards probably behind the play. So I think Yorktown's down there upset.
Olin Roberts, personal unsportsmanlike conduct.
That's barking. What's happening is they felt like they were held at the point of attack. I didn't see it. So I know they're down there complaining to the refs. That was just a heck of a run by Curlegrand. And what was so impressive about that was he cut back across the field and he ran through the wash. I mean, that's
everybody.
Yeah, it ran through everybody. So that's why I like Curlegrand, Joe, and I think he needs to be more involved. And we're seeing it tonight because to make a deep playoff run, they're going to have to be able to run that kind of back.
Well, instead of having them backed up, now it'll be 1st and goal at the night because of that penalty. Major penalty again against Yorktown.
I think that's 4. If I have my numbers right, 4 personal foul penalties in the first half on Yorktown.
So Curlegrand stays in as the running back. One of his teammates said, he doesn't just want to run around people. He likes to run through people.
That's why I like him. He's so physical. And that was a physical big-time run.
1:44 on the clock. 19-7 Concordia knocking on the door to add to their lead. They've trailed as early as 7-6 in this ball game.
Like it's first down.
Now the officials still taking. Now they finally wind the clock. As Joe gets ready to head down, he'll be checking in with Tim Manigal. And right now, though, we get ready for Concordia wanting to throw the ball. Here's the pass thrown, and that one is incomplete. Well, there was a lot of green helmets in the vicinity of where that throw was going, but it falls incomplete. That'll stop the clock with 1:29 remaining. It'll be 2nd down and goal. Still from the 9-yard line. Curlegrands have counted for all the scoring here tonight. Peterson with the first 2 rushing touchdowns. One from 11. Then a 8-yard touchdown run. And then Preston Curlegrand from a yard out after Bordner caught the ball at the 1. Now Curlegrand again is the running back. Peterson Curlegrand, 3 wide to the right side. Morrison with the play clock at 1. Got the play off. Throws a quick slide. Has got a touchdown catch in the end zone. That was Drew Bordner. Just ran the slant in the middle of the field. So a 9-yard touchdown pass at the 1:26 mark. First touchdown pass of the ball game by Peter Morrison to Drew Bordner. Good for 9 yards, and that'll take it to 25-7. Looks like Kaczynski's going to stay in there to attempt the extra point. Waiting for the snap. High snap, got the kick on the way, and that is going to be good. Just got over the crossbar. Well, not the prettiest kick, but if it goes over the crossbar and between the uprights, it's good kick. And Kaczynski will make it 26-7. With a timeout here at Zollner Stadium, this is IHSAA Tournament Football on Fox Sports, 1250 The Ticket.
No, not yet. Just a little more sleep.
Come on, honey. Rise and shine. Up and at 'em. Let's get cracking.
Give me one good reason to get out of bed this morning.
Well, I'll give you 2. Egg McMuffin and sausage McMuffin with egg.
Now you're talking. Race you to the shower. Let McDonald's do the cracking for you with the McPick 2 for $4 special. Get 2 Egg McMuffin or 2 sausage McMuffin with egg sandwiches. Or one of each for just $4. Each served all day long. Limited time only at participating McDonald's. Price of single item posted on menu board.
You're listening to the high school football game of the week on WGL Fort Wayne, Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Teams participating.
Well, since the Cadets gave up that 6-0 lead on the mixed extra point and then saw Dawson Allen run 67 yards for a go-ahead touchdown on 4th and 1, extra point by Smith made it 7-6, but the Cadets have taken care of business now with a run of points. And their lead is 19 now with under 90 seconds remaining in this first half. Cadets will tee it up, kick it away from their own 40-yard line, and we'll see the Tigers with not a lot of time on the clock here. Here comes the kick, end over end. It'll come down, it'll take a bounce, and fielded at the 25-yard line. Run near sidelines, up across the 30 to about the 30. Let's see where they're going to mark that ball. Around the 32 is where they say the runner went out of bounds. So the Tigers will go back to work offensively now. 1st and 10. Well, the only thing they've had to cheer about on the far side was the Big run. Dawson Allen, a 5'11 senior, came in with 109 carries and 404 rushing yards. Led the Tigers in both those categories. 5 rushing touchdowns, averaging about just over 3.5 yards a carry. 2 protectors in for Brogan Miller. Read option again as he hands the ball off. Off tackle run to the left, and they'll get a couple, 2-3 yards. Gain out to about the 33-yard line. Jordan Spangler, junior at 175, 5'10", had 6 carries for 49 yards last week. Gain of 3, second down and 7. Shotgun formation for the senior Miller. Out of the gun, drops to throw, pressure's on. Can't find anybody. Flush to his right, scrambling. Now throws downfield, picked off at midfield. Concordia with her turn. Bordner's got it. And inside the 40, he's dropped at the 38. So Drew Bordner, who just caught the touchdown catch, now with an interception. And Concordia with 44.3 seconds remaining will be in business offensively into Yorktown territory. Bordner dropping back. And that is his 5th interception on the year. Concordia came in with 14 on the season, 14 picks. That's their 15th. And they'll have it at the Yorktown 38-yard line. And we'll see if the Cadets can engineer a score here with under a minute time remaining in the half. Their lead is 26-7. Morrison wants to throw, drop the football, picks it up. Now flushed to his left and got rid of it. No, he throws the completion. I thought he was just throwing it away. That one caught by Anderson Drew.
Intended for Anderson Drew, brings up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, they really was out of bounds, so no pass completion. That took the clock down to 36.8. And the ball still at the 38-yard line. If you're looking ahead as far as field goals, Concordia's attempted only 1 on the year, and they missed that one. I have a bunch line up to the right side, 3 to the right, 1 to the near side. Now if they show a safety blitz, but they're going to back off with that. Morrison looks right, throws the ball in the slot, and he's got a catch made again. And they will have a first down inside the 25 to the 24. Clock is running, now should stop with 30.5 seconds remaining.
First and 10.
So they'll move the chains in Concordia. Are they going to call a timeout? They will. Now with 30.5 seconds remaining, it'll be 1st and 10 for the Cadets. As they try to get down to the red zone, they'll have it at the 25-yard line. 24 is where they spotted. When we return to Zollner Stadium, 26-7 our score. IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 1250 The Ticket.
Here's some good policy from your local agent and auto owners insurance. When your insurance policy comes from us, it comes with something extra, a real person. Don't buy from an insurance company with an 800 number and a voicemail menu. Auto owners insurance operates exclusively through local independent agencies, here to help you 24/7. Now that's good policy.
Call Tom New and Schwander at Amstuff Insurance, with offices in Fort Wayne and Ossian, 260-622-4169.
And now back to the IHSAA football game of the week with Joe Parson on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Anderson Drew in this series. Now this comes wide to the left side, part of a trips package. That's to the left. They'll spot the ball at the right side hash mark. Grahovic splits the lone wide to the short side to the right. 30.5 seconds remaining. 1st and 10 at the 24 of Yorktown. Zone blitz coming. Now they have that amoeba defensive look. Here is Morrison dancing. Dancing throws down the middle. Looking, he's got nobody there that time. He was looking for Mallers, but he had to get rid of the ball. Then that might have been just simply a throwaway along the end line. But it'll stop the clock with 24.4 seconds to play here in the half and bring up 2nd down and 10 still from the 24-yard line. Yorktown's got kind of a unique, creative type of defensive alignment. Remember, Northside used to run, about 10 years ago, what they called the amoeba defense, where the linemen and everybody, the linebackers, just kind of moved up and back right before the snap of the ball. And now it's Yorktown kind of doing that. Second down and 10. Morrison to throw again. Rush is coming, screens the ball in the middle. They've got Curligran. Curligran cuts to the 20, 15, straight arms one, and then brought down at the 14-yard line. That might have been a touchdown-saving tackle coming across. That was Nathan Preston, two-way player for the Tigers. And once again, with 16.3 seconds remaining, Concordia is going to take another timeout. They've got a first down when we return, trying to score before halftime. IHSAA Tournament Football on Fox Sports, 1250 The Ticket.
Just like your car, sometimes your laptop needs a tune-up. Or worse, a virus hit you, completely shutting down its functioning. But who do you turn to for quick help? The answer might surprise you. Alpha PC Mac Computer. We're the other guys, and we're better. With realistic turnaround times for service, more reasonable rates, friendlier service that works with you and solving problems. Don't settle for the other guys. Try Alpha PC Mac Computer, located just 2 blocks north of Glenbrook Mall. Call 444-3557 and ask for Dave.
Let's get back to the stadium with more IHSAA football action and Joe Parson on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Don't forget, very special halftime interview coming up with Charlie and Matt Momper of Momper Insulation. Yes, celebrating 60 years of being in business, but some really touching stories, I think, that you're going to find interesting. Hope you can stick around for that. 26-7 here, 16.3 seconds remaining. Don't have a lot of time. 3 wide, including Bordner to the right side. Maller's in between. And an empty backfield with 2 wide to the left for Peter Morrison. Back there by his lonesome. Blitz is coming. Morrison looks, and there was a whistle right before the snap. Clock ran to 15.3. And let's see, Olin Roberts will let us know what that call is going to be about. Looks like procedure against Concordia. That'll cost them 5 and cost them about a second and a half of time also. So 1st and 15 now with the ball back around the 19-yard line. Cadets do huddle up. They'll check it. They're going to move that ball. It is placed at the 19. This time the wide side is to the right, and that's where the 3 wide package goes for the Cadets. And they'll have Anderson Drew, the lone wide, to the short side to the left. Curligran comes in now, and he will be flanked out to the left. So again, empty backfield with 5 wide for Concordia. Morrison out of the shotgun formation. Play clock at 17. He's got time. Now takes the snap. And once again, a penalty flag blows it down. 15.4, again, procedure against Concordia. So back-to-back 5-yard penalties. And it'll become first down and 20. This time now the ball comes back to the 24-yard line. Grahovic, Mallers, and Bordner. The wideouts to the right side. Anderson Drew to the left, the short side, along with flanked inside of him is Curligran. They stay in that 5 wide receiver set. And here's Morrison being pursued and trying to spin back to the near side, looking to throw the ball. Got rid of it, throws it away. That'll take the clock down to 7.7, and is just as much as anything, Peter Morrison was trying to avoid a direct on target hit that time, and bearing down on him, I believe that was Steven Steinhall, and he was able to get away and take only a glancing blow instead of a releasing where you're exposed, where you take that chest high hit. But they threw it away, and that will bring up now second down and still 20. And once again, Concordia's going to take a timeout.
Let's take their final timeout.
And they'd like to be able to get down. Maybe it's got to almost be a sideline pass to get the ball out of bounds to try to maybe set up a field goal attempt by Kaczynski. We'll find out when we return. 26-7 our score. And this is IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 1250 The Ticket.
The market goes up, the market goes down. And if you're a typical investor, you may be playing games, trying to guess correctly when to buy, when to sell. That can be expensive and exhausting. Well, what if there was a local company with tons of investment experience to help you take some of the guesswork and worry out of investing? The name is Stifel, specializing in individual portfolio management. Stifel can help reduce the risk and worry of investing, building you a portfolio of quality, performing stocks and bonds. Give Stifel a call at 260-459-3989.
And now back to the IHSAA football game of the week with Joe Parsons on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Well, there's been a lot of things going right for Concordia, but they've lurched along at times. And right now, with back-to-back procedure calls, they have 2nd down and 20 at the 24-yard line of Yorktown in just 7.7 seconds remaining. Joe Walburn will be checking in at halftime with Tim Manigal. And don't forget, we'll have some updates on scores elsewhere on this first night of football sectionals in the state of Indiana. Morrison, quick release over the middle. That's wide. A little bit behind Mellors. Trying to run into the seam down along the right hash mark. And that leaves 4.5 seconds remaining. Still, it will be 3rd down and 20. Clock would not have stopped, by the way, on a catch. That was going to be short of the 1st down. And now Concordia's used all their timeouts, so they almost need something into the end zone to have a chance to score, unless they can get some kind of a deep pass quickly to one side or the other and still leave a brief second or two on the clock. But now we're down to 4.5 seconds. Morrison with a running back lined up and drops to throw again. Looks, sets his feet, throws in the left corner of the end zone. Look, he's got a man that is caught for a touchdown. And it's ruled a catch. Touchdown. Checking the number, I believe that's Anderson Drew. And it is. So it was 3rd and 20. And that one good for 24 yards and a touchdown. So the interception by Bordner pays off with no time remaining. 24-yard touchdown pass. And Anderson Drew, that was not an easy catch along the back line. Here's Kaczynski with the extra point attempt over the crossbar, and good as time expires to make it a 33-7 lead by Concordia. So we get ready for Joe Walburn down on the field as he looks for head coach Tim Manigal. And we will go down to Joe, the coach.
Coach, it seemed like kind of an odd first half, but when you look at the scoreboard, you're up 33-7.
I didn't think we played very well, honestly. A lot of mistakes offensively, a lot of penalties. Man, this last drive here was just painful to watch. Holy cow. Defensively, we played okay, but even that hasn't been, I don't know, I think we're lacking a little energy for whatever reason tonight. And that needs to improve.
Yeah, defensively, they had the one big touchdown run, but after that, you guys have really done a nice job shutting them down, especially with their pass game.
Yeah, I think the defense continues to play well. We have really the whole last half of the season. So, yeah, they had the one play, but we've done a good job there. We just not really very sharp anywhere tonight.
Okay, well, good luck in the second half, Coach. Yeah, I agree with that, Joe. They just seem to be a little bit out of sync, but still, it's nice to be up 33-7.
That's making lemonade out of lemons, because the long pass was good for the touchdown. 24 yards, Peter Morrison to Anderson Drew. 33-7 at the half. We'll take a 2-minute timeout, and we'll be back with the Momper family talking about their 60 years in business. This is IHSAA Tournament Football on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Sure, you can scroll, click, and shop, but what if your online purchase doesn't fit, isn't the right color, it just isn't what you want? You got to wrap it up, send it back, and wait for another couple of weeks to get it again. You can get what you want instantly at Jefferson Point. It's the place for fashion, food, and fun. They have all the top brands: Loft, White House Black Market, Bed Bath & Beyond, and that's just scratching the surface. And if you shop online all the time, you'd miss the incredible restaurants at Jefferson Point, like Biaggi's, Eddie Merlot's, Smoky Bones, McAllister's, Panera, Chipotle, and Chick-fil-A. With all the stores and restaurants, it's an amazing shopping experience, but there's so much more. And here's where the fun part comes in. You can de-stress every Tuesday night at 5:30 with Yoga by the Fountain. And it wouldn't hurt to start thinking about a creative costume for Halloween. Jefferson Point is hosting a family-friendly trick-or-treat event October 31st from 5 to 7 p.m. You can even bring your pets. So it really is fashion, food, and fun at Jefferson Point.
True Goodness Foods by Meijer are made from the philosophy of less and more. Less of what you don't want and more of what you do. There are no hormones or antibiotics in the raising of our meat. And True Goodness Foods never contain any high fructose corn syrup, artificial flavors, colors, or preservatives. We use wholesome ingredients, like peanut butter made from just peanuts, and tortilla chips made from corn, oil, and salt. That's it. And at low Meijer prices, True Goodness is good food your family will love. Find True Goodness Foods at your local Meijer today.
Bumper Insulation is celebrating 60 years, so they've seen a few things.
The Civil Rights Act of 1964.
That's one small step for man.
And a few more.
His or her freedom, or the precious gift that is America.
I took the initiative in creating the internet.
So here's Charlie to tell you more.
This is Charlie Momper Insulation, celebrating 60 years of meeting homeowners and contractors' demands for professional installation. Here's to 60 more. Thank you from Momper Insulation.
Welcome to the IHSAA Halftime Show, presented by Indiana Michigan Power. Let's get back to the stadium with Joe Parsons.
It is halftime. Welcome back, everybody. And this is really a special moment for me, I think, because one of our longest-standing supporters of high school sports has been Matt Momper and Momper Insulation, and very fortunate here tonight that we've got really the guy, the founding father of Momper Insulation, Charlie Momper. You hear him on the commercials, and he's joining us here tonight. We're very blessed to have him with us. And Charlie, it's a special, special year for Momper Insulation. You know, when you think back that all the businesses that come and go, some of them go after a year or two or 5 or 6 years, and you look back, you started in 1956, I believe, and now you're celebrating your 60th anniversary here in Fort Wayne. A lot of ups, few downs. But tell me, we'll talk about some of those ups and downs, but tell me about what stands out in your mind now as the founding father and looking at what your son Matt has, really taken to the next level. What stands out in your mind over 60 years when you first started the company?
Well, kind of long in between, I guess, on our 50th anniversary, or when about 50 years, we went and had our picture taken by the entrance to Hacienda Village. Most young people won't know Hacienda Village. That's was on 37 East, and that was the big homes, and that was the first house we ever insulated for a commercial builder. And it still looked pretty good out there and everything, but you'd never know that was the addition with all the big ones nowadays.
Have you ever, you guys both, Matt is with us as well tonight, have you ever put a number on the number of businesses or homes that over the 60 years that you've serviced, and maybe made a little bit cooler or warmer depending on the time of the year?
Oh, God, I bet it's approaching 100,000 homes that we've insulated over 60 years or more. It's hard to, with room additions, apartments, commercial building, residential, it might be 200,000. I don't know. We've done a lot, and we've tried to do them the best we possibly could.
In 60 years, we mentioned some ups, some downs, and, I turn your attention, Charlie, back to 5 years ago. You were telling a story about how you unfortunately got the news of that devastating fire, and I know that had to be a terrible day. You're riding in your car with your wife. Tell us a little bit about it and your thoughts at that time.
Well, my wife and I had been to Mass, and we stopped for breakfast, and afterwards I saw the black smoke in the sky, and I said, let's go see where that is. And as we got on Jefferson Street and got near Main Street, I knew exactly where it was, and it was a tremendous blow to see it, a lifetime of work going up in flames, and there was fire trucks every place. They were doing their best, but they couldn't do good enough, I guess. And we still have pictures of the fire, and to think that was the first weekend that they decided to put all the trucks inside, which we very seldom did at the time. 45 trucks, they drug them out, hunks of them. They sprayed paint on them so they could, for the insurance people, and 45 of them. It broke your heart.
Matt, and that was just the start of things, too, because then you start the process of, your first thought is, wow, where do we go from here? And then you start the process with insurance. And it's interesting. You operate 50 years with no problems whatsoever, and then suddenly you're going to rebuild, and then the politicians get involved with EPA and the hurdles, and that had to be all, it's one thing to rebuild, but when you have the political hurdles to cross, that's got to be a very tough challenge.
Yeah, it was definitely a challenge to keep all the moving parts and going in the right direction. Codes, laws, they all change. Everything updates every day, every year. So we just had to navigate the roadways and get it done. There was no time to feel sorry. There was no time to cry. As I told our men that next morning, it can be our worst day or it can be our best day. And for 4 years, up until this year, this past spring, of those 45 trucks, this past year, after 4 years of working round the clock with 4 mechanics, the fleet is intact. That's what a lot of people don't realize. We worked that first year 7 days a week. The second year it was 6 days a week, and the mechanics, they worked nonstop. So it was a great team effort, and we got it done. I mean, as I always said, Charlie didn't raise a wimp.
Well, it's amazing. It gives you an idea of the resiliency of the whole Momper family with Momper Insulation that just continuing on. Charlie, when you look back, the insulation business, it's changed, hasn't it, over 60 years? I mean, the type of materials, and I don't know if you have a good, better, best product out there, but how has insulation, maybe from your purview, as you look at things, how has it changed over 60 years?
Well, the biggest change, it's gone from fiberglass and cellulose to spray urethane. When we first started the spray urethane business, we would buy 4 55-gallon drums at a time and wondered if we'd ever use them up. Now, I was talking to Matt the other day, I think they're getting 4 semi-loads a month, to give you an idea how that has come on and how it's changed. And then the big change is all the government regulations and stuff. And the larger the company you are, the more they're looking at you. And makes it very difficult, I'm sure, for Matt to compete with the small one-man, the way we started operations, where they don't know the rules, so they get by with bad things. But that's the way America is.
I want to finish with Matt, and I know that interest rates remain relatively low right now. They're predicting a rate hike next month. NIPSCO's coming out. They're saying their rates are going higher. It sounds like a great time to buy insulation. Let's finish up and tell people maybe exactly how Momper can help.
Well, you really should have an energy audit or a salesman come out and take a look at your home, tell you what you need. Maybe you won't need anything at all, or maybe you need a little bit, whether it's air sealing your attic, insulating your crawl space or basement, or topping off the attic. It is a good time. The only thing it's going to do is reduce your energy consumption, and that's just money in your pocket. Right now there are utility programs, I&M, NIPSCO, other, if you're in outlying areas, all the utility companies have programs they want you to utilize, and it helps you and it helps them. It reduces the carbon footprint, which the government mandates the big utility companies to reduce. So again, you're going to be more comfortable and you're going to save some money.
A pleasure and an honor, gentlemen. Charlie and Matt Momper joining us. Momper Insulation, humble beginnings and roots back to 1956, now celebrating 60 years, providing the most reliable and appropriate insulation solutions. Now back to more high school football on Fox Sports, 1250 The Ticket.
At Indiana Michigan Power, we're building the future of energy delivery. From renewable energy to grid innovation, we're developing a smarter way to power your life. With the addition of 4 new solar power plants, you can take comfort knowing that more than half of the electricity that we generate is emissions-free. I&M is honored to sponsor local area high school sporting events and proud to be your hometown energy provider.
American families are facing a major problem nowadays. It's called extreme student debt. It's affecting graduating students, even those with jobs, for years and years, trying to pay off their student loans. But there is help available to students in Northeast Indiana from nonprofit Cuesta Education Foundation. Cuesta is ready to provide low-interest or even forgivable loans to qualified Northeast Indiana students. Take a second look. Check Cuesta to see if your student qualifies for a chance at graduating with as little student loan debt possible. Cuesta can make a difference. And it all starts with simply logging on to QuestaFoundation.org. That's QuestaFoundation.org.
It's Ram Power Days at Glenbrook Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Power Days. Right now is the best time to buy the truck you've always wanted because select remaining 2016 Ram 1500 trucks are an incredible $15,000 off MSRP. And select remaining 2500 and 3500 Ram trucks are over $13,000 off at Glenbrook Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram. Power Days. Ram trucks are the longest-lasting trucks on the road today, so they get the job done. Glenbrook Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram has the largest selection of new Ram trucks, all with amazing options. So now is the time to buy during Ram Power Days. But you won't just save on trucks because you can save big on a new Jeep during the Jeep Celebration. Jeeps are hot. They can tackle any terrain. They're perfect for driving around town and rough enough to get you through anything Mother Nature can dish out. Right now at Glenbrook Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, drive a 2016 Jeep Cherokee for 20% off MSRP. Power Days at Glenbrook Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram under the giant American flag and online at GlenbrookDodge.com.
You've heard the saying, it's all about the Benjamins. Nothing could be more true at Tom Steele Tire, where it's all about saving you money. For over 35 years, this family-owned business has been saving Fort Wayne drivers lots of Benjamins. Offering quality tires and ASE-certified mechanical service for your car, and that includes an oil change and tire rotation special, all for just $24.95. 2 convenient locations in Fort Wayne to serve you. Tom Steele Tire, not just a tire store, but a complete automotive center. Did you know the IRS tax code now consists of nearly 80,000 pages of rules and regulations? It's enough to make you cry. But now there's real affordable help right here in Fort Wayne. Walbert Financial Management, a firm that cuts right through the legalese, working hard for you, providing external solutions to bookkeeping and tax problems. Walbert Financial Management, taking flawless care of all your personal reporting, P&L, or even individual tax requirements. Give them a call, 260-459-2240. You'll sleep better at night being assured everything's taken care of. Walbert Financial Management.
Let's get back to the stadium with more IHSAA football action and Joe Parson on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Back at Zollner Stadium, Joe Parson with Joe Walburn here at halftime. The Tigers coming out. They're on the short end of a 33-7 score here at halftime. Let's recap the scoring. 7-6 at the end of the first quarter in favor of Yorktown. Although Concordia came up with a 4th down stop, they used that to set up an 11-yard touchdown run by Peterson Curlegrand at the 7:44 mark, but the extra point was no good, and it remains 6-0 in favor of the Cadets. But Dawson Allen would give them the lead on a 67-yard dash on a 4th and 1 call. He would go 67 yards, so 66 plus the one they needed, 5:29. The extra point by Smith was good, 7-6 Yorktown. And then they would go onside, or what actually they kicked the ball. It was a fumble on the kickoff, recovered at the Concordia 40, but they could not score with it. Concordia then struggled a little bit, Joe. They had a touchdown of 56 yards called back. They finally got going in the second quarter. 8-yard touchdown run by Curlegrand at the 9:19 mark. Again, the extra point was no good, but it was 12-7. Concordia had the lead, and then they would then kind of put Yorktown in the rearview mirror. A touchdown run after Bordner caught the ball at the 1. Was a 1-yard run by Preston Curlegrand at the 5:18 mark. Kaczynski came in, knocked through the extra point to make it 19-7. And then with a minute 26 remaining, a 9-yard touchdown pass from Morrison on a quick slant to Bordner. The extra point, Kaczynski made it 26-7. Concordia's lead was 19. Then an interception by Bordner gave him possession at the Yorktown 38. And with no time remaining on 3rd down and 24, they would get to the 24-yard touchdown pass from Morrison to Kamari Anderson-Drew in the left corner of the end zone along the back line. Kaczynski again knocking through the extra point. That's where we are at halftime at 33-7. So Tim Manigault said didn't play all that well offensively, but they got 33 points. That's not bad.
Scoreboard looks good. As we always say, scoreboard looks good, so I agree. I think their energy was a little bit down. I think part of it has to do with the cold weather. I mean, it's damp, it's wet. I thought Concordia was a little bit flat coming out, but boy, it took off in the second quarter. So I thought getting Curlegrand going with the run game, Joe, opened up those passing lanes, and I thought Morrison just made a heck of a gutsy play at the end to get that ball to Drew for the touchdown. You know, Morrison is coming off. He has a banged-up hip from the game last week, and we thought he didn't look look quite right, but he's just a gutsy kid. He's playing through it. So I think just, Concordia being a little bit banged up. They're missing Morrow, too. So just kind of an uneven first half where they're just kind of getting their sea legs. Everybody expects them to make a deep run in the playoffs. And I think sometimes with those expectations, they kind of get out ahead of front of you.
Well, you mentioned they've had some nagging injuries. Grahovic was kind of a question mark with a shoulder. And as you mentioned, with Morrison got dinged up a little bit last week, and that got aggravated tonight. You're just starting the tournament trail, and that is a little bit of a troubling issue for Concordia as the tournament wears on, because other teams are going to be aware of those same injuries.
Yeah, and to me, that is the only chink in the armor for Concordia. And really, they can't help it because coming into the season, they don't have the kind of depth that other teams. That's why they're playing the 3A football, but you need that depth. It's tough when you play guys both ways too. So we'll see if Concordia can stay healthy for a playoff run. Speaking of the playoffs, a surprise right now, and I love it. Southside 19, Leo 3 at halftime.
Now you got to be a little surprised by that.
I'm shocked by that because I thought Leo would handle South, and I kind of thought Leo would be hungry to host New Haven next week, but maybe they got caught in the look ahead. So I made a phone call over to South during halftime to see if we could have a running clock in the second half because our defense, we have some defensive issues this year, and Leo could probably get back in that game pretty quick, but that's a big surprise in the area. Another surprise is Marion has just scored to go ahead of Bishop Dwenger, so it's Marion 14, Bishop Dwenger 13. That game's late in the third quarter, and we were able to watch a little bit of the game, and Dwenger looks flat again. It's surprising. Dwenger seemed like they were so flat when we saw them last week in the second half against Northrop. So as far as Bishop Luers, they are rolling against Northwestern. And Northwestern thought they would have a better chance this year with the gaudy record, but Luers seems to be all of a sudden getting that run game going, and Luers could be dangerous. East Noble 31-0 over DeKalb at halftime. New Haven only 21-7 against Wayne. Wayne has a lot of athletes, and we kind of felt like Wayne would match up and hang around with New Haven. So it'll be interesting to see if Leo can come back against South and what happens with New Haven next week. As we mentioned, Southside 19, Leo 3. I just want to scream it and say it over and over, but I'll back off. Woodland 34, Bluffton 0. So Woodland is the team in 2A, so they're off to a good start with their playoff run too, Joe.
How about Belmont and Norwell? Let's see if we
Belmont, Belmont was 20, Norwell 0. So Belmont's going to win that game. Norwell's just down this year. Jimtown was 14, Heritage 0. I tell you what, they must have a team up at Northwood that could play with the Irish up there because Northwood 45, Columbia City 0 at halftime. Now, I know Columbia City didn't have a lot this year, but Columbia City's not that bad. And what Northwood did to Wawasee and Warsaw this year was pretty impressive, too. So they must really have a good team. So those are your scores, Joe. And it's interesting, with the playoffs kicking off. Also, one more score, sorry. Garrett 14, Fairfield 8. So that's a competitive game. But, man, here we are in the playoffs. Everybody wants to get off to a good start.
And I know what game you'll be watching. Well, they come up Yorktown with that bunch lineup of fakes and onside. Now they spread out. And so does Concordia as they try to mirror the faked attack on the onside. And now here come the Tigers. They'll kick the ball away. And it comes right side. That's a short kick. It's fumbled away, but Concordia dives on it at about the 37-yard line. So it will be a 27-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 Concordia. They won the toss to start the ball game deferred, and we'll see. Well, we see Peter Morrison now to start the second half.
I think we'll see a little bit of him. I think he'll be okay, Joe, but I think it wouldn't be a bad idea to get him out of the game after about the third quarter. Those hips can be tricky, and with the way you throw the football, so much of it's in your hips, and I think that and the cold weather has kind of got him slowed up a little bit tonight, Joe.
You talked about it earlier, being down there wet on the field, muddy in places, and that dampness, it just gets into your bones. So 1st and 10 for the Cadets. They move from left to right at their own 28-yard line. They lead it 33-7. They trailed early on 7-6. Here's Morrison wanting to throw. Throws left side's got a man. Fingertip catch is made at 46. Here's a cut to the 40, 35. They got a chance inside the 20 to the 15. A straight arm for Mellors. Dives for the pylon. And touchdown.
Wow.
One play, one touchdown. That is good for 72 yards. If it stands up, is there a penalty flag? There is, Joe, back at the 22.
Oh, that was a heck of a play.
And Maller's the second time he's had a touchdown called back tonight on penalty.
Yeah, and he comes across the field. It was the split post. Concordia had what they wanted. They had the man-to-man. Morrison just puts the ball on the tightrope, and it's a huge play. How about this, the way Mallers snatches the football, Joe? He doesn't let it get to his catch. He just reaches out and grabs it.
He had an earlier one of 56 yards called back. Now this one of 72. And the crowd deflated for the moment.
And that's kind of what we've seen tonight with Concordia. It's going to be holding that time, but just kind of uneven. You see about 2 or 3 good plays, and you'll see a bad play. So that's one big penalty.
Cadets had 3 for 28 yards last week against Northside only. They come in averaging only about 38.5 yards a game in penalties, but again, 2 here costly have wiped out touchdowns on the board. Now it's first down and 26 with the ball back at the 12-yard line. So Morrison will have the spread offense, 2 wide either side of the field. Stretch handoff. Here's Curlegrand looking for running room. Cuts it up, steps out of a tackle, cuts back to the left side, knocking over people, and brings it out to the 15 and close to the 20-yard line. And Curlegrand, he says, I'm not going down.
Yeah, he's been battling injuries all season long, and we kind of wondered when we really see him healthy and run the ball the way he can. So now we're seeing it tonight, and I think that's so important to have a physical runner to complement the passing game for Concordia, because obviously they're going to roll Yorktown here. I don't think Belmont's going to be an issue next week, but then you're looking at Bishop Lewis, West Lafayette, and a really good Mishawaka-Marion team possibly in a semi-state game.
Curlegrand picks up 8, still second down and 18 though. Get out of the pistol. Here's Morrison, looks near side. Grahovic trying to make a cut to the outside, fell down at the 30, so that'll bring up third down and long. They would have to get out to their own 38-yard line on this snap.
And that's also why I like Morrison, Joe. That time everybody's covered. So he says, okay, I'm going to throw it to the outside shoulder and give him a chance. Obviously it was incomplete because the footing conditions are so tough to make that turn, but that just shows you how accurate he is. And really, to go back over the stats, Joe, he has got to be the player of the year in the conference. 27 touchdown passes, 32 touchdowns altogether, only 4 interceptions, 67% of his passes completed. What a season.
They'll stay with that spread offensive lineman, 2 wide either side, low snap, and Morrison's got it. Now throws over the middle. He's got Mallers, but that one died and was nearly picked off. As Yorktown had a shot at that pick, Kelly Watson rotated back, but that was one of the few times an underthrown ball by Peter Morrison.
Yeah, and he had Collinger on the outside. Or excuse me, had Grahovic on the outside, Joe, and he just didn't see him. Yorktown kind of had an elaborate blitz that time with putting a lot of guys in the line of scrimmage, just bringing guys from all over.
Nathan Lindemeyer comes on to punt the ball, waits at the 6. High snap, but he's got it. Rush is coming, got it away short and high. That one's going nowhere. Takes a bounds forward, though, to about the 25 and comes back. So Yorktown will have a great opportunity, as that one went sky high but not very far for Nathan Lindemeyer. And Yorktown with a great opportunity to cut into this 26-point deficit.
Yeah, we'll see if the Concordia defense can slow them down here. So you're right, Yorktown gets the short field. Now let's see if the quarterback for Yorktown, Miller, can get something going throwing the ball.
We'll see if the Tigers have made any changes. We've not seen Applegate come back in there. I don't think he's in there now. They have Christian Hunt into the wide flank to the left side. 2 protectors in. We've seen that a lot tonight for Brogan Miller, flanked either side out of the shotgun. He takes it, read option, hands it off. There is Dawson Allen, who ran for a 67-yard touchdown early in the ball game, but Concordia now kind of eyes him, and he'll be brought down with maybe a loss, and it is a loss of about a yard.
Now, it's just kind of a strange formation, because when you line up like that with the backs, Joe, there's not a lot they can do. They're going to run off tackle to the left or off tackle to the right. So if I'm Yorktown, I kind of get back into a formation where you have one guy in the backfield.
McNamara stays in wide to the right side. Corner came up briefly on press coverage, but here is Brogan Miller looking, being pursued, got rid of it, and threw it away. Wow, he was under duress.
Yeah, and that was good push up front with Concordia. So anytime you run those play action passes, those are great. But if you're getting beat up front by the defensive lineman, you can't even do the play action fake. By the time he's faking that ball, Joe, they're in the backfield. And it's never good, too, when the coach in the press box next to you is rattling our equipment because he's so upset.
Yeah, some of those linebackers, they're just laying back their ears, and they're coming. They're playing pass all the way in pass rush. Now it's 3rd down and 11. Miller, I should say, looks to his right. Play clock still at 5. Now we're down to 4, to 3, 2. Will they get the play off? Apparently they do. Here's Miller, steps up in the pocket. Now is going to run and is caught from behind. He will be short of the first down stick. Got down close to the 20. So it'll be 4th down, and I would not expect a field goal attempt down 33-7. I'm guessing at 4th and 7, they're still going to run a play.
Yeah, they're going to run a play, and what Yorktown's biggest problem right now is Trey Freeman. They have no answer to block Trey Freeman. I think at this point, double team him. Do what you can to get him blocked.
Christian Hunt in wide to the right side. McNamara to the wide side to the left. Now they flip-flop the tight end, tight to the left side as well, as Miller wants to, and the ball is dropped by McNamara in that middle screen. Well, they had blockers in front, 3 of them, but couldn't hold on to the ball. So they're stopped on downs on 4th down, and it will be Concordia getting the ball back 1st and 10 at their own 23.
Yeah, that was good defense that time because, Freeman made a couple of good plays on that series, and then Bordner has been so ferocious coming down, laying the wood that I don't think McNamara really wanted that football that time, Joe.
So the Cadets back on the field offensively, leading at 33-7. We've not seen any further scoring since our halftime score. 7-6 Yorktown at the end of the first quarter, but Concordia put 27 on the board in the second quarter. Now they'll have that spread line up again. 3 wide to the right. Bordner comes in motion. Here's Morrison wanting to throw and the catch is tipped and was nearly caught by Mellors on the deflection, I thought. That was Anderson Drew that went up and touched the ball.
Yeah, I thought Anderson Drew, and see, when he comes back to the huddle, if I'm Morrison, I'm like, look, don't put one hand up, get both hands up, And Mallers still almost catches it, Joe. I think if you throw it within the area code of Mallers, he'll catch it.
Maybe that's the way they drew it up, right? The little tip play, 2nd down and 10. Clock stop with 9:08 remaining.
That used to drive me nuts, though, when I throw a ball to a guy and he would throw like one arm or one hand
tip it high.
Yeah, just tip it high. That's great. Tip it till the other team can get it. Get both your hands up.
Spread offense again, option run. Morrison pitches the ball. Curlegrant cuts to the 20-25. Straight arms one and driven out of bound. Back pedals up and is short of the first down. Got out to about the 30-31 yard line.
I thought that was going to be a big play, but the corner out there, Christian Hunt, was able to push him out of bounds. So I thought Curlegrant was going to plant and roll that time, but pretty good defense by Yorktown, Joe.
Talked about Christian Hunt, a two-way player. They've got a lot of two-way guys on this team. He leads his team with 4 interceptions. Came in with 52 tackles, 4 last week against the Marauders, 2 for loss. Now it'll be 3rd down and 2 for the Cadets. They've got it at their 31-yard line, up 33-7 on visiting Yorktown. Morrison looking, wants to throw. Looks, throws to the left in traffic. They've got the catch, but do they have the first? Yes, they'll get a spot up around the 35. They'll move the chains.
That was a nice pass. Morrison gets it, sets his feet, and just puts the ball right where Mallers can catch it. Mallers does a nice job, Joe, against zone. Obviously, he's a heck of a player against man-to-man, but he just knows right where those zones, where those holes in the zone are.
Joe, I called Peter Morrison earlier a finesse thrower. He is all of that, but he's shown at times he can throw the long ball as well.
Yeah, and that's sometimes hard at the high school level. A kid that really has that kind of touch to know, how to throw the ball on certain routes.
Bordner in motion again, lead blocker. They pitch the ball to Curlegrant. He has one straight arm, but then runs into a defender, fights across the 35, got a couple of yards to the 37. As coming up and making the stop, that was Caleb Meixel, who had him lined up, but still it's a positive gain for Curlegrant of about 3 yards.
Just going to make an observation up here, and obviously, Coach Manigill knows more about it than me, but I just don't think I run Morrison on the option, Joe, with the hip issue. He's kind of laboring around out there with the hip, and he's giving up the ball early, so I think he's doing the right thing. And I like the idea of running the ball with Curligran, but I think I protect my quarterback a little bit. It's 33-7. I think I'm ultra conservative with my quarterback tonight, Joe.
Maller's in the slot to the left side. Split wide of him is Anderson Drew. It's second down and long. Morrison drops to throw. Looks near side. He's got Maller's at 50, 45, 40, 35 in a foot race. And he's tripped up with a last-second tackle at the 20-yard line. That was Christian Hunt who saved the day of a score.
How about Mahler's picking him up and putting him down? It was the wheel route, and I didn't know Mahler's could run that fast.
You think he's upset, Joe? He's had 2 touchdowns called back. That one he's headed to the house, tripped up with a shoestring tackle that just caught a cleat.
Man, he dropped the clutch and was rolling down the sideline.
He's got to be thinking, I'm finally getting in with one that's going to count. No, you're not.
No.
But he's got the gain down to the 20-yard line with under 7.5 minutes remaining in the quarter.
Yeah, he's a heck of a football player, Joe.
3 wide again to the left, the wide side of the field. Curligran, the running back, and the one-back set. 1 wide to the short side as well. Morrison, short drop, looks, throws the fade. He's looking for Grahovic, and they're all over him. And they are going to draw a penalty flag. Hunt doesn't like the call, but he had the shoulder pad.
Yeah, and it's a good call. And now they're going to get another penalty, Joe, on Hunt for complaining about the call. But you know what? He had him. He had a hold of him. And I'm going to tell you, Grahovic's going to make that catch in the corner of the end zone. So Hunt was beaten on the play. Those are the passes that Grahovic is known to go and get. So it's a good call. I like the play call with Concordia, Joe, because they get the man-to-man coverage on the short side, and they can attack with the fade route. So
2 penalties, you're right. Pass interference and then the unsportsmanlike call.
And that's number 5. If I'm, obviously, if I'm the coach for Yorktown, I know we don't have all of the weapons that Concordia has, but 5 personal foul calls, I'm upset about that. When I get back on the bus, I don't like that, okay? We were beaten on the play. They made the penalty call. Get back in the huddle, and let's see if we can play some goal line defense.
Well, it's a proud program. They've had success in the past under Mike Wilhelm. We've talked about their success. 2014 sectional championship. 2008 they were 10-3. 1994 they won 10 straight before 55-29 loss at Tipton in the sectionals. And now the penalty is going to move the ball down to the 5-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal. So the Cadets looking for the first score either way of this second half. 33-7 at halftime. Now just over 7 minutes remaining in the quarter. Still that same 26-point lead. Curligran lines up in the 1-back spot. Olin Roberts, our referee, now winds the clock. Under center is Morrison. Looking, there's movement there. They got that hit, and they give the ball off. Curligran slides off to the left side, battling inside the 1, carrying tacklers. Did he get in? Apparently not. He's down just short of the goal line, and it took about everybody with a green helmet to keep him out.
How about that fight? I thought he was going to drag them all into the end zone, Joe.
Jeez. Oh, he didn't get a good spot, Joe. They're going to mark that back outside the 1, closer to the 2, and that it looked like he was just inches away from the goal line, if not in.
5'10", 180, runs like he's 220.
And how do you measure heart? Again, they go to Curligran straight up the middle, trying to push, and he's in. So officially a touchdown run of 2 yards. And that is the 3rd touchdown run of the night for Peterson Curligran at the 6:35 mark.
Yeah, just really been a factor tonight. Kind of damp conditions, cold out there. A night where you really want to get your run game going, and he's shown up and run hard. So Concordia now has control. They're off to a good start in this first sectional game, Joe.
Kaczynski's been doing the extra point kicking since Morrison had some problems with 2 straight misses. And right-footed kick is on the way, and that is going to be good. So Kaczynski makes it 40-7. Cadets here in this sectional opener tonight at Zoller Stadium will step out. This is IHSAA Tournament Football on Fox Sports 1250 The Ticket.
The game just isn't the game without you. When pain or injury has you sidelined, call Parkview Sports Medicine at 260-266-4007. Whether you're an aspiring pro or a recreational athlete, our team of certified orthopedic surgeons, physical therapists, athletic trainers, and registered dietitian nutritionists will provide you with rapid access to comprehensive care and sport-specific rehabilitation. We can get you back to the action quickly and safely. Just call 260-266-4007. Parkview Sports Medicine, your dream team.
And now back to the IHSAA football game of the week with Joe Carson on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Joe Auburn with us here tonight at Zoller Stadium. Concordia with 34 unanswered points now against the Tigers.
Pass amount of scores are long. Marion 14, Bishop Dwenger 13. Bishop Lures 35, Northwestern 7. East Noble 31, DeKalb nothing. New Haven 35, Wayne 7. And Southside 26, Leo 3. Were you really surprised?
Yeah. Yeah.
Bring on New Haven, my friend.
I'm just glad we weren't in Vegas. Here's a kick coming down inside the 15. A return up to the middle of the field. Nice spin move by Spangler. Gets across the 25. Still on his feet. They can't bring him down till he crosses the 35.
Yeah, he's a good football player too, Joe.
So a good, tough return.
Yeah, good tough
return. By Jordan Spangler. He's a 5'10 junior. And as we mentioned, before the break, a proud program has had a lot of success under Mike Wilhelm, and they're not used to being 2-7. And don't like it, but it is what it is. And of course, they play in that tough Hoosier Heartland Conference against New Palestine, among others.
And last report, New Palestine was losing. So we'll see. Now it was early. I know it's getting a little strange up here, but that was in the second quarter. They were down to Columbus.
You sure this isn't Halloween and we've got a full moon out somewhere?
Unless somebody's feeding me wrong scores.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
But
it's April 1st.
Yeah, it's April 1st. New Pal's losing. Southside's
winning.
All over Leo.
That is a gain of 5, though, for the Tigers. So they are not done. Good carry on 1st and 10. Hunt stays in as the wide out. We have not seen Brant Applegate since going off the field injured in the first half. And now it's Brogan Miller out of the shotgun, and they'll run the ball off tackle again in second effort. That's a good job by Dawson Allen as he works his way short of the first down, but right to the 45. It'll bring up third down and a short yard.
And he's a good back, Dawson Allen. He's had over 400 yards in the season, Joe, 5 touchdowns, and almost 4 yards per carry. So had that big run in the first half, but he's a good back.
Joe, they gave him a great spot again up across the 45 of the 46, and they'll move the chains. So it's 1st and 10 for the Tigers approaching midfield. Christian Hunt splits is about as far wide to the right as you can get. And now they want to run the ball at the middle, and they're finding a little bit of running room now this series as they break it across midfield into Concordia territory by a yard.
Yeah, it's Allen again, 6 feet 180, so the senior's done a nice job on this season. He kind of gets the tough yards for them.
Again, it'll be second down. Let's call it 4. A gain of 6 that time for the Tigers. A much more impressive look. McNamara looks like he's lined up offside near side. But Miller out of the shotgun formation again, looking to hand the ball off to, no, he keeps it himself and not going anywhere. That time he might have done well to give it off to Britton Wheat. Did not, and he will maybe get back to the line of scrimmage right about midfield.
Yeah, he's reading that defensive end. That time the defensive end came down, so you want to give that football up. But Concordia is much better in their defensive line this year.
Let's call it third down and 5 with the ball right almost squarely at the 50-yard line. They'll stay in that shotgun formation with a one protector this time flanked to the left side. Miller takes the snap hand and wants to throw, and steps up and has got some running room off to the right side, looking, and it's then nailed. Back for a loss on the Yorktown side of midfield at about the 49, maybe the 48.
Wow, Bordner
just couldn't find anybody.
Yeah, Bordner can really close, can't he, Joe? That time Bordner just closed down. I thought Miller was going to get free and get the first down, but I tell you, for 6'3", 195, Bordner can run. It'd be very interesting to see if they can get Bordner's way up to about 225, Joe, and see what he can do at the next level.
Loss of 1 to the 49. It's 4th down and 6, and we saw them go for it in first half. They 2 and 7. Why not? 4th down and long, and here is a throw over the middle. They've got the catch. No, it's not the catch. It was caught for a moment and then dropped. Britton Wheat could not hold on, so another 4th down stop. That's Concordia's 3rd of the ball game. They'll take over at the 49-yard line of Yorktown.
Yeah, and besides that big touchdown run, 4th down, Joe, Concordia's really shut Yorktown down, especially with Yorktown's passing game, because we thought Yorktown would have some success throwing the ball tonight. They just haven't.
Well, let's see. We don't see any really changes in the lineup right now. Morrison stays in as the quarterback. Maller's out there as well. And Grahovac's in there. Kurlegran is the one-back. So they're going to stay with the starters. Still with 4:14 remaining in this third quarter and a 40-7 lead. Morrison on the pistol. Looks to Kurlegran. A little stop-and-go move. Then a straight-ahead plunge. Trying to get to the 46. Don't think he reached the 45. No, they spot the ball back at the 46. That's still a gain of about 3.
You know, kind of projecting ahead, we saw Belmont against New Haven. New Haven really seemed to handle Belmont. And, you know, Belmont just didn't really have a lot on offense, Joe, when we saw them.
Well, they run that Kokomo offense. They pack everybody in, and then it's just a student body straight ahead.
Is that what they call it, the Kokomo offense?
That's what I call it, because every time I've seen the Wildcats, they just 11 men bunched together.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Cloud of dust and straight ahead. Here's Morrison to throw. Throws the fade to the left side's got a man. There's a catch inside the 15 to the 10, and they've got another touchdown. That one's good for 46 yards.
How about that pass? I tell you, they had man-to-man coverage out there. It looked like Anderson Drew that time, Joe. Is that who it was? Okay.
46 yards.
Good call, my friend. And Morrison just puts the ball out there, and he throws that fade pass so nice. So that's important because, you know what, moving forward and kind of projecting Concordia ahead, they're going to need Anderson Drew to be a force, Joe.
That was his second touchdown catch of the night. Of course, it helps when the defender falls down.
Yep.
And Anderson Drew had a little easier time of it getting into the end zone. 46 yards on the touchdown at the 3:23 mark. Extra point attempt, high snap, and that one's no good, and there's a late penalty flag as well. So we'll see what this is going to be about.
I tell you, well, maybe the experts might be a little bit closer than what we
Didn't
thought.
Look that way early.
Didn't look that way early. We thought Yorktown had some pieces to make a little bit of a game of this, but
Bordner the holder, but that one the flag was dropped in the end zone, and still kind of waiting to see what we're going to have. Apparently against Yorktown, encroachment, that'll be half the distance. So Bordner will have another chance, hoping for a little bit better snap this time, and looking for the 47th point of the night. Again, here's the kick on the way. That's going to be long enough, and it is good. So Kaczynski has done a nice job.
Yes.
And makes it 47-7, a 40-point lead for the Cadets. 3:23 on the clock. This is IHSAA Tournament Football on Fox Sports, 1250 The Ticket.
Dude, I'm pretty nervous for this date. Nah, you got this. First dates are all about finding what you have in common. Like putting sweaters on dogs? Sure, but I was thinking about going to a place you both like, where you both can get your favorites. Oh, like McDonald's. Exactly. But do yourself a favor. Don't tell any of your elevator jokes. But they work on so many levels.
Here's a deal that's no joke. McDonald's new McPick 2 for $2.50 menu includes McDouble, 6-piece chicken McNuggets, small fries, and hot fudge sundae. Limited time only. Prices and participation may vary. Price of single item posted on menu.
You're listening to the high school football game of the week on WGL Fort Wayne, Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
So now the Cadets have scored the game's last 41 points in the row, and they lead at 47-7. We will see Spangler back deep along with McNamara in kick return formation, the two deepest for the Tigers. McNamara inside the 15. Spangler inside the 10. And here comes the kickoff by Concordia. Near side, a line drive kick, and that's on the fingertips. Caught by McNamara, 15-20. A low high hit, and he is brought down right there at the 21. Hello.
Wow, that was a big-time hit. I'm trying to get that number, Joe.
So is McNamara, wondering who that truck was.
Returned by McNamara, about 6 yards, first and 10, Tigers.
Looked like Ryden, maybe, Joe. I tell you, it looked like number 40 made that play, but.
Yeah, numbers are a little tough to read at times. Not a lot of contrast.
Chase to get down the field and make that play.
That's what you say with authority, right?
Yeah, those are ones that hurt the next day.
You speak like you speak from experience.
Absolutely.
Did you return any kickoffs?
Yeah, a few times.
Yeah,
yep, a few times.
You drew the short card or what?
Yeah, it was one of those deals where somebody's hurt.
Walburn,
the
go
coach
ahead.
Screams, "Get out there and do it!" Yeah.
Oh, nice catch, fingertip on the near side. That was Spangler again. Went up and caught it on his fingertips. They're going to rule it a catch at the 27, I believe. It's good for 5.
And you have to be fearless, Joe, because when you return those kicks, when you catch it, you have to run as fast as you can to, because when the wall hits, you're looking for that opening. So if the opening's not there and you get hit,
it's a wall.
It's a wall, that's for sure, but it's fun. It's all fun. And those are the big hits. Actually, the biggest hits are always on special teams.
That was McNamara. And now, did they call a timeout because Yorktown's walking to the far sidelines?
I think he was hurt. He's got his helmet off.
He had to go high and grab it on his fingertips on the way down.
Yeah.
And clock is stopped with 3:08 remaining.
There's a great article in the paper about Concordia, huh? I didn't realize it was, 1967? They won 8 games in the regular season. So they go back almost 50 years, my friend, to find a season where Concordia, had that great of a season. So
some of the websites that we you go back to about 1994, and that's it.
That's it, yeah.
Well, it's the first time winning 6 in a row since 2013 when they went 9-4. Here's Wheat, angled run to the right and trying to fight his way to the first down stick, and he's very close. They won a sectional, talking about Concordia Sectional Championship that year in 2013. They also won 6 in a row in 2007 when they won a sectional and a regional. That win last week, 42-0. That's the first shutout this year. They did beat Norwell last year in the tournament, 51-0. And their last 2 wins defensively, given up just 1.5 points a game over the last 2 victories. Penalty against Concordia now. That looks like a big one. It will move the ball
face mask, huh?
All the way up to just short of midfield at the Yorktown 47 and a 1st and 10.
Now, I believe that 07 team, that was the team quarterbacked by Jason Dorfler, correct?
I believe so.
Yeah. And they're out of a bye this week. They have Homestead next week, so we'll see if they can continue with a little bit of momentum after that good game they played against Dwanger last week. Still Marion 14, Dwanger 13. That's now in the 4th quarter, Joe.
Yeah, it gets a little dicey when you've got a 1-point game come down to the wire. McNamara in. Boy, he looks like he is well offside, but no penalty flag as Miller trying to screen back to the near side. That's picked off, and it'll be a pick 6, I believe, as that'll be a return. Is that Bordner again?
That's Bordner again.
His 2nd interception of the night. That one from 35 yards out, and that will take it. Well, they don't put the points up yet, 53-7.
Yeah, and Miller, it was a screen pass. They rolled Miller to the right, and he threw back across the field. You just can't do it. And Bordner recognizes it. You can tell Bordner has watched a lot of tape and takes off and snatches that and takes it to the house. But I'm telling you again, Bordner's ability to shift and run is impressive for a guy that size, Joe.
Yeah, that was a lollipop up there that Bordner just had to clutch the low-hanging fruit off the tree and take it to the house. So he will become the holder. Kaczynski's done a nice job looking for the 54th point of the night, and that prediction looks a little bit more on target now. It didn't look that way when it was 7-6 Tigers. But here comes the extra point, and that is good to make it 54-7. Timeout here at Concordia at Zoller Stadium, and timeout for us. We'll be back after this. This is IHSAA Tournament Football on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Just like your car, sometimes your laptop needs a tune-up. Or worse, a virus hit you, completely shutting down its functioning. But who do you turn to for quick help? The answer might surprise you. Alpha PC Mac Computer. We're the other guys, and we're better. With realistic turnaround times for service, more reasonable rates, friendlier service that works with you and solving problems. Don't settle for the other guys. Try Alpha PC Mac Computer, located just 2 blocks north of Glenbrook Mall. Call 444-3557 and ask for Dave.
Let's get back to the stadium with more IHSAA football action and Joe Parson on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Tigers were 2-9 last year. They lost to Bishop Luers in the sectional semifinals, 40-7. Here they trail in the sectional opener to Concordia, 54-7.
Speaking of Luers, 35, Northwestern 7. So many people thought that game would be much more competitive, but and Belmont's rolling over Norwell was the last score we had on that, Joe. 26-3 South over Leo, and New Haven 42-7 over Wayne now.
McNamara works to the 20-25, trying to find his way up the midfield across the 30 to about the 33-yard line, and a little bit of a scrum in the middle, and that is where the Tigers will send the offensive unit out once again with just over 2 minutes remaining in this third quarter.
And that Belmont score was Belmont 39, Norwell 6 was the score there. So
everything continuing as is, Joe. We'll be back here at Zollner Stadium next Friday night for the 3A Sectional 27 semifinals with Concordia hosting Belmont.
And we'll see Belmont, with that power rushing attack, that's going to be a tough matchup for Belmont because Trey Freeman's going to be right there, ready to make every single play.
Here's an off-tackle run to the left side. Again, Spangler just able to take it across the 35 up to about the 37-yard line. Check it, Dawson Allen on the carry. Good-looking runner. He picks up generally about, came into the game with 5 rushing touchdowns, picks up 4, second down and 6.
Yeah, good job by Reedon that time. He goes 6'5", 190 from his defensive end position, number 40 for Concordia, Joe. So he's another good football player for Concordia.
Little different look now as they've got Miller out of the pistol. He spins and pitches the ball right side. Looking at Dawson Allen again, looking for running him, turns the corner, and he's down the right sidelines for a first down up around the 45. They'll give him another yard, looks to be about the 46. Where they're going to spot that ball, and that's one of his best runs of the night.
It was, and it's interesting because Yorktown plays a lot of different formations. They give you a lot of different looks. They seem to run a lot of the same plays, but different looks with different formations.
Yeah, first time we've seen that pistol lineup where then Miller pitches the ball. So now they've got it 1st and 10. They do spot that ball at the Yorktown 45-yard line. We're at 1:18. Time is running here late in this third quarter. And after trailing at 7-6, it's been all Concordia here tonight. They lead at 54-7. One wide either side of the field again, and the direct snap comes, and they'll run straight up, just short of midfield, I should say. Second effort to about the 49.
Yeah, that was a pretty hard-nosed run that time.
That was Brogan Miller on the carry.
Yeah, he got hit right at the point of attack, but was able to kind of stretch the ball out and get some extra yards.
Again, a gain of 5. And now we're down to 47 seconds remaining in the quarter. Miller went over to check the sidelines. Play clock is at 19. And they'll split McNamara again wide to the near side. Christian Hunt, now they have 2 protectors coming back in for Miller on 2nd down and 5. Play clock at 5. Here's a straight ahead carry. That's not going very far, only right back to midfield, so it'll bring up 3rd down and still about 5.
Yeah, good push again up front with Concordia.
We may not get another playoff. We're down to 12 seconds. And it looks like Yorktown is just going to wait for the quarter to end. And they'll have 3rd down and 5 when we return to Zollner Stadium, but on the short end of a big Concordia lead at 54-7. This is IHSAA Tournament Football on Fox Sports 1250 The Ticket.
At Indiana Michigan Power, we're building the future of energy delivery. From renewable energy to grid innovation, we're developing a smarter way to power your life. With the addition of 4 new solar power plants, you can take comfort knowing that more than half of the electricity that we generate is emissions-free. I&M is honored to sponsor local area high school sporting events and proud to be your hometown energy provider.
American families are facing a major problem nowadays. It's called extreme student debt. It's affecting graduating students, even those with jobs, for years and years, trying to pay off their student loans. But there is help available to students in Northeast Indiana from nonprofit Cuesta Education Foundation. Cuesta is ready to provide low-interest or even forgivable loans to qualified Northeast Indiana students. Take a second look. Check Cuesta to see if your student qualifies for a chance at graduating with as little student loan debt possible. Cuesta can make a difference. And it all starts with simply logging on to QuestaFoundation.org. That's QuestaFoundation.org.
And now, back to the IHSAA football game of the week with Joe Parsons. On Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Back at Zollner Stadium with Joe Auburn, we head down to the fourth quarter. It will be 3rd down and 5 for Yorktown right at midfield. They'll move now from left to right as we look at it.
Yeah, and I was surprised tonight a little bit, Joe. I thought Yorktown would throw the ball. You know, I thought they'd be a little bit more vertical throwing the football tonight. We'll see if they are here, but a lot of the passes have just been screens.
Yeah, some of the out patterns, they've just not had the accuracy. Again, on the pistol alignment, second back, that's Dawson Allen up the middle, and he spins around, keeps his footing all the way inside the 35 at Concordia down to the 31.
Yeah, good, strong run, good for Dawson Allen, and a little bit of something for Yorktown to cheer. But, you know, he's played well tonight, Joe, and if I'm not mistaken, I think that put him over 100 yards on the evening. So, you know, a little bright spot for Yorktown.
He ran for 67 yards and a touchdown in the first quarter that gave him the lead after the extra point. And now it'll be 1st and 10 at the Concordia 31. 11:40 remaining in regulation. Again, same set, offset. They run the net as Dawson Allen, the lead blocker that time, as they gave it to the other back who reaches just outside the 30.
Brings up 2nd down.
That was Britton Wheat on the carry.
Hey, he'll be the man next year run the football for Yorktown.
A little different look, as we mentioned. They've had shotgun formation now out of the pistol with a halfback flanked to the left of the quarterback, and then the tailback, who has been Dawson Allen. Now they go back to the shotgun on 2nd down and 9. One wide either side. Dawson Allen. No, it's a throw near side. Kristen Hunt had it, and it is in the air, but dropped. Incomplete pass ruled on the deflection. Concordia had the best shot at it, as Ryden had it in his grasp, or neared it for a moment, but couldn't secure it.
Yeah, Bryden had it, but Keani Griggs brought the wood that time to break that play up.
That'll stop the clock with 10:50 and bring up 3rd down and 9. Now, Brogan Miller came in with 1,424 passing yards, 14 touchdowns, 8 interceptions, and now wants to throw again. Pump fake, now throws the fade. He's got a man out there and laying out for it. Couldn't find the handle. That was close to a catch, and that's kind of been the story, not just tonight, but for the season.
Yeah, Miller had him. He had the pump fake. It was a double move, and Miller just didn't throw a catchable ball out there. If he just could have put a little bit more air under it, that could have been a big play for Yorktown. So Concordia bites on the fake, but Miller just can't deliver the catchable ball.
That was McNamara that did lay out for it, dove at the goal line, just could not find the handle. So now 4th down and 9 with the ball at the 30, and they're going to go for it. They've gone on 4th down about 4. This will be the 4th time tonight, I believe. And Miller, play action fake to the rushes, coming, steps up, and still on his feet, runs forward. The ball's tipped in the air and intercepted. Concordia's got it at their 29.
Yeah, and Yorktown just had 2 guys in the route, Joe. They rolled Miller out to the right, and they had a deep option and a short option, and they both were covered. So Miller had no place to go, and I thought he was going to tuck it and run up field and try to get the first down, Joe. And he kind of went for a jump pass, and Concordia was able to get it, weren't they?
I think that was Casey Codling.
Looked like it.
They're congratulating him. So he was in the right place at the right time, ran into the ball. He is a 215-pound sophomore at 6 feet.
He's kind of chasing. It's like, what's this?
That is the third interception of the night by Concordia. Codling his first, obviously, and Concordia's got it 1st and 10 at the Cadet 24-yard line.
And now we're going to see Jacob Dorfler now.
So they are bringing in some of the new troops, and that will be a run off to the right to the 31. Maybe a yard gained only.
You know, and games like this, too, in the playoffs, Joe, man, it helps your young kids so much. This is why I think Snyder is so dominant every year, too, because all their kids have so many more weeks of practice, because obviously they advance deep in the playoffs, but they also play in some of these playoff games.
Yeah, it's a difference when you're on the scout team and getting beat up in practice. When you come out and you got a chance in varsity competition.
It's great for morale, too, because these kids love it. This is the moment they've been waiting for.
Jacob Dorfler, a 6'2 junior, just 140 pounds. Looks to hand it off, and a run-off tackle to the right side to the 35, maybe another yard.
Did you think Morrison would be that dominant this year, Joe? I mean, last year he was a wide receiver. I knew he had a little bit of a skill set, and I think playing some wide receiver prepares you. But did you think he'd be this dominant, Joe?
You know, I did not. But kids, when they get an opportunity, you just never know how they're going to respond. And he's taken the challenge. You know, you talked about that article in the News Sentinel this week, and he said he always wanted to play quarterback. You know, you go where the coach needs you. But obviously it's in his genes with his brother who
That's right.
did so. David Morrison, who's now at Ball State. Now it's 3rd down and 2. The blitz is coming. Here's a quick throw near side. Tyson Chambers to the 40. First down to the 45. Lowers the shoulder and bowls his way up to about the 48-yard line. So Dorfler can throw it pretty well, too.
He sure can. And that, oh boy, he kept his poise on the blitz and got the ball out there, Joe. So being well schooled. But back to Morrison, I thought he would have some success, Joe. But to move from wide receiver and to play varsity quarterback your first full year, and to be, I think, the player of the year in the conference, wow. Very impressive with the numbers that he's put up.
You wonder how much Noah Parker, by the way, Parrish, I should say, is in wide to the right. You wonder how much David might have played a role in the summer.
Sure.
Maybe coaching him up a little bit. It'd be interesting to hear that story. Here's a run now. They hand it off deep and a gain to midfield.
And you know, I've always said this too, Joe. I think they do a heck of a job with the play calling out there. And they just seem to get all their weapons involved. I mean, we thought that Curligran would have a huge year. He really didn't, you know. Mowers had the big year. We thought, you know, Grahovic had a big year, you know. Now, Kohlinger went down with the foot injury, but he was heading for a big year. Then, you know, we didn't expect to see Bordner in like an H-back position. You know, he's been dominant on offense, so a lot of weapons.
Well, one of them is Nick Craddock, a young 5'7" sophomore running back who's in there now, ran for 110 yards on 21 carries last week against Northside. Picks up about 3, 2nd and 7, throw right side. They've got Parrish. Parrish spun around, got a couple of yards deep into Noah Parrish, by the way, on the catch. And that'll be a gain into Yorktown territory.
And Dorfler's doing a nice job operating the offense, you know, getting him in, out of the huddle. He's been crisp with his passing. It seems like they always have a quarterback, and not to make jokes, but they always seem like they're small kids in stature, but they always play so well and have so much heart, you know. I don't remember coming out here, Joe, and seeing a 6'3" or 6'4" quarterback ever.
Not a quarterback, not so much. They've had some receivers who have had some height. Now it's 3rd down and 6, 2 wide either side of the field. Here's Dorfler. Backs up the throw, looking, checks off, rolls to his right, throws the ball, comeback catch. That's going to be short of the first down if it's ruled a catch at the 46-yard line.
Pretty nice ball if that's going. That was a pretty nice ball to move outside the pocket and deliver that football, Joe.
It'll bring up 4th down and 3.
Good. These are good reps for Dorfler because
you
never know, and just so important to have your backup ready.
If you're wondering, he is the nephew of Dean Dorfler. the son of, I think it's Buzz Dorfler. What might the holidays be like for the Dorfler family with between the coaches, Dale? You know, here's a screen near side. That's a tough ball to catch, incomplete.
Yeah.
Looking into the flats. And that was a 4th down stop for Yorktown. And they'll get the ball now with 5:54 remaining in a very good field position, just short of midfield.
Yeah, good stop with Yorktown. That time that was the first ball that Dorfler threw that wasn't a good ball. So, quickly, Joe, we'll go through the scores. Late in the 4th quarter, last score we had was Marion 14, Dwenger 13. So we'll see how that's going to turn out. We hope that Dwenger can jump ahead. Bishop Luers is rolling 42-7 over Northwestern. East Noble 45, DeKalb nothing. New Haven 42, Wayne 7. Southside 33, Leo 9. And Woodland 54, Bluffton 6. So most of the teams that we thought would hold serve and win tonight are winning big. The only real surprise is obviously a surprise to you of Southside beating Leo. That's no surprise to me. But I know I can hear Pat back at the studio. Pat saying, Mr. Walburn, come on. Obviously,
he's on the floor laughing.
Yeah, that's a huge shock. And what's going to happen with Dwenger and Marion? Marion was much improved this year, so we'll see if Dwenger can get the win.
Miller on a quarterback run for 5 yards. Now looks to play action fake, throws to the left. That's an open catch. And that's good for a 1st down. That's McNamara. He takes it to the Concordia 41. So after that 7-6 lead, then it's been all Concordia, now leading at 54-7. But Yorktown would still like to have a final score here.
Yeah.
Make that bus ride back, that long ride down to Yorktown, a little bit easier.
Yeah, and 8 seniors on offense. So, still out there playing with some pride.
Pistol lineman once again for Miller as he looks to the second back through. Dawson Allen but they wrap up on him right at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. Maybe at no gain or maybe a half a yard gain as much.
Pat's a better man than me back at the studio because I'd be sneaking down to that Pizza King over there on Bluffton Road, and I tell you what, a pepperoni feast, some of those breadsticks, and I love those breadsticks. They kind of put that garlic butter sauce on it, then they give you that cheese sauce.
What do you got, stock in that company? Or?
I am, I tell you what.
You're making me hungry. We got to go get them as a sponsor with all the free play you're getting.
They chop up that pepperoni. That just sounds so good right now.
They're going to flip-flop the tight end to the left side now. 2nd down and 11, a loss of about a half a yard. Pitch comes left side. There's Allen again. Little nice move, and he's still on his feet. He'll get the yardage lost back, and carries down inside the 35 to the Concordia, right about the 34-yard line with just over 4 minutes time remaining.
Yeah, he's had a good game tonight, Joe. Good pad level, good feet. And what you want with the running back, you want a kid who can plant that outside leg and be decisive when he makes his cuts. And I think Dawson Allen has shown that tonight.
It'll bring up 3rd down and 3. Concordia making some personnel changes right before the next snap. Shotgun formation once again for Miller. 2 protectors in. He wants to throw. Throws over the middle, and he's got a ball that's caught. That's Christian Hunt inside the 15, down inside the 10 to about the 9.
And
so
finally,
they're knocking on the door finally.
Yeah, and Christian Hunt finally gets a big play. He's had kind of a tough night tonight, so he gets the big play.
You can see a little bit more zip in the step of those kids out there for Yorktown. It's been a tough night after that first early and quickly lost 7-6 lead. Now they've got Weed in, protector off to the right side. They've got 4 in the backfield. And here is Miller, hands it off tackle, run inside the 5. Might have another yard to the 4 with 3:03 remaining. So Joe getting ready to go down on the field to be talking to Tim Manigal and some of the players for Concordia as well, as we'll head to our Walburn Financial Management post-game show. Parker Bright comes into the backfield. They'll stay with that 4 in the backfield alignment. Haven't seen that one in a while. Dawson Allen trying to take it to the house. Inside the 2, got down close to the 1, did not score. So that'll bring up 3rd down. We're down to 2:20 remaining. And it'll be 3rd down and goal from, well, they're going to say that ball's just outside the 2. Clock still moving. And here they come up to the line of scrimmage. They've got two lead halfback blockers off to the right of Brogan Miller. And he'll get off tackle, and that is Dawson into the end zone. Dawson Allen into the end zone. Officially a touchdown run of 3 yards, they say, at the 156 mark. So a little consolation for the Tigers. And Dawson Allen, they pay him off here after that early 67-yard touchdown run. This time from 3 yards out. He has scored both touchdowns tonight for Yorktown. And Brevin Smith will come on to attempt the extra point, looking for their 14th point of the night. Miller is the holder. Play clock at 15. They still getting organized, but ready now to attempt the extra point conversion. Right foot kick is on the way. Line drive kick is good. So that will make it 54-14 with a timeout here at Zollner Stadium. This is IHSAA football on Fox Sports 1250 The Ticket.
Missed a great high school game recently, or simply want to revisit that game-changing electric play that turned everything all around? Well, now there's a great new opportunity to do just that. Catch all the exciting action of our live radio broadcast simply by visiting SummitCitySports.com after our game broadcast. Plus, many other high school sports highlights to choose from as well. It's all new and available now at SummitCitySports.com. Let's get back to the stadium with more IHSAA football action and Joe Parson on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Well, it was a long time in coming for the Yorktown Tigers after that 67-yard dash on 4th and 1 by Dawson Allen that gave them a 7-6 lead. They never scored again here until 1:56 remains. Dawson Allen once again from 3 yards out. That may be the final score.
Belmont's victory. Looks like Belmont will be playing the Cadets next Friday.
Belmont did win their ball game. We just caught that little bit of announcement. So it'll be Belmont against Concordia here next Friday night. And we will have that game for you here on Fox Sports. Get a bunch lineup as they'll come up to the line of scrimmage. They do kick the ball a pooch near side. That goes bouncing inside the 30-yard line. It's picked up and down at the 24. So they faked it a couple of times and then finally did catch it. It wasn't technically onside. It was more of a pooch kick coming to the near side, trying to kick it to an open area and hoping they could win the race. But Concordia does come up with the ball, and now the Cadets with 1:50 on the clock. And you would expect maybe just a couple of kneel downs, or we'll see. Cadets have it out their own 24-yard line. Well, the Cadets kind of lurched along a little bit in the early part of the ball game. You wouldn't think that with a 54-14 lead. Now Dorfler under center is just going to take a knee. And we'll see if Yorktown does want to take any timeouts. Play clock is starting to run at 35 with 1:37 now remaining. And you would expect the Cadets are going to take that clock all the way down to just about 1:05 before they'll have to snap the ball again on second down. Meanwhile, Yorktown's going to get some of the backups into the ball game for these last snaps as well. And again, Dorfler under center, just waiting. Play clock is at 5, down to 3, and he'll take the snap. Another knee with 1:02 on the clock, and the 40-second clock will run right now, and that should leave just about 15 seconds for a final snap of tonight. Loss of 3, so they didn't just kneel down, they backed up a little bit to run a little bit more clock. And Concordia still kind of huddled up. They will play Belmont here next Friday night. Braves had defeated Norwell. We'll give you that final score a little bit later on in our Walburn Financial postgame show. Dorfler once again with 4 on the play clock, takes the snap, does take a knee, and with 20 seconds remaining, that is going to do it here from Zollner Stadium. So Concordia with a nice win, 54-14. And they'll take their record, 7 straight wins now for Tim Manigal, 8-2 on the season. Year ends for the Tigers at 2-8. And we will have the meeting and handshakes at midfield. And Joe Walburn will be waiting for an opportunity with some of the other media to check in with Coach Manigal. Hopefully an opportunity to talk. Let's go down to Joe and the coach.
Coach, step one in the run in the playoffs, you guys get off to a bit of a slow start, but the second quarter you dominate and you come out at halftime and really flex your muscles.
Yeah, I mean, we talked at halftime. We thought it was a little bit sloppy. Second half was a little bit better. Still a little bumpy at times, honestly. But we got the job done, and again, here in the sectional, it's one and done, so we're happy we're moving on and advancing.
How important was the play of Andrew Bordner tonight? It seemed like not only did he dominate on defense with the 2 interceptions, but he made a couple of big catches on offense, too, and what a weapon to have both ways.
Oh, he's an outstanding player. Probably better defensively at linebacker, but he can step in and play that slot receiver position really well. A kid with a great mindset, always comes ready to play. Brings up the intensity for our team, and we're happy to have him.
And defensively, it seemed like, you know, the defensive line led by Freeman really bottled up what Yorktown wanted to do. Yorktown wanted to kind of establish a run game and throw the ball, but it seemed like the quarterback never really had the time to let the plays develop, especially the pass routes.
We always feel like if we can take away the run game, we'll be in good shape, make the other team throw. So that was our goal coming in, as it is almost every week. And you're right, tonight we were able to do that. Trey's had he's another kid who's had a great year. So we were pleased to be able to force them to throw. We felt if we were able to do that, we'd be in good shape.
And lastly, how do you balance, you know, the excitement the kids have with the playoffs and being ranked versus also the focus week in and week out to prepare for these teams? Because some of these teams have different styles. You know, we see Yorktown tonight, you know, wanting to throw the ball. Next week it's going to be Belmont with the ground and pound game.
Well, you're right. But, you know, we just take it a week at a time. And frankly, tonight, I don't know if we were as focused as we needed to be coming out for whatever reason. And so, you know, we'll worry about Belmont now. But this week it was all Yorktown, and Belmont presents its own unique challenges, of course, but every team does. And so we'll take it. I know it sounds cliched and probably isn't great radio for you, but we'll take it a week at a time, and that's all you can do, because if you look ahead, you're done. And so, you know, tonight, first quarter, I mean, I don't know that we were looking ahead, but we were just kind of sloppy. And so we're happy to get out with the win and move on.
It's always great, Raheel, because you're a straight shooter. So congratulations on the big win, Coach. So there you have that, Joe. He's always a straight shooter. He's a little bit unhappy with the play, but I thought some of his kids really came through for him. But it'll be interesting to see if they can, you know, avoid the injury bug, Joe, and if they can have the depth to continue to play the big games in the playoffs. I think they won't have a problem next week with Belmont. The Belmont people may not like that, but there's some big tests that are looming down the line for them, Joe.
No question about it. Joe Walburn down on the field. He'll be checking in with some of the players. And Tim Manigal saying not really happy at times. But remember, Coach, you got 54 points tonight on the board. And big victory, and on to week 2 in the sectional semifinals against Belmont. 54-14. We will take a timeout. We'll be back with our Walburn Financial postgame show. And Joe's still down, hoping maybe the chance to visit with Drew Bordner. We'll find out when we return to Zollner Stadium. This is IHSAA Tournament Football on Fox Sports, 1250 The Ticket.
Ready to give up on your continual neck and back pain, injections, maybe even surgeries? Nothing seems to be working. Maybe it's time to check with Aaron Chiropractic, where real relief could be forthcoming through a treatment plan including manipulation and exercise. Yes, it's true. A return to the quality of life you thought may have been lost forever just might be started with an initial phone call to Aaron Chiropractic. It all starts with identifying the real source of your pain. First analysis, detection, and then treatment. Why put up needlessly with another day of pain? Call Aaron Chiropractic. Get started back on the expressway road to relief. Aaron Chiropractic, 260-492-8811 in Fort Wayne, 492-8811.
The Midwest goes by many names. The Heartland, the Corn Belt, the Crossroads of America. But for you, it has another, more important one. Home. It stands for the simple things. Family dinners, baseball games, and long country drives with the windows down. Bonfires, barbecues, and ice cream cones on a Sunday afternoon. And it stands for the values that make all of these things possible. You've built your life around Midwestern values. At Midwest America Federal Credit Union, we have too. That's why we've dedicated ourselves to supporting our members as they work toward their dreams. As your hometown financial partners, we offer practical, dependable service. And since 1936, hardworking families have trusted us to help them with their most important purchases, from mortgages to auto loans and everything in between. Midwest America Federal Credit Union, for your home, for your family.
The market goes up, the market goes down. And if you're a typical investor, you may be playing games, trying to guess correctly when to buy, when to sell. That can be expensive and exhausting. Well, what if there was a local company with tons of investment experience to help you take some of the guesswork and worry out of investing? The name is Stifel, specializing in individual portfolio management. Stifel can help reduce the risk and worry of investing, building you a portfolio of quality, performing stocks and bonds. Give Stifel a call at 260-459-3989.
True Goodness Foods by Meyer are made from the philosophy of less and more. Less of what you don't want and more of what you do. There are no hormones or antibiotics in the raising of our meat. And True Goodness Foods never contain any high fructose corn syrup, artificial flavors, colors, or preservatives. We use wholesome ingredients like peanut butter made from just peanuts and tortilla chips made from corn, oil, and salt. That's it. And at low Meyer prices, True Goodness is good food your family will love. Find True Goodness Foods at your local Meyer today.
Now let's head back to the stadium with the Walburn Financial Management post-game show. Here's Joe Parson.
Welcome back, everybody, to Zollner Stadium. Joe Walburn's down on the turf and waiting for a chance. Concordia huddled up close to the end zone with a little bit of a mini-team meeting with the head coach, Tim Manigault. Now they're grouped up again, and Joe Walburn is waiting for a chance to chat with some of the players. Let's go down and tune in with Joe.
Joe, I'm down here with the big offensive tackle, Nick Webb, and typically we go get the quarterbacks or we get the receivers, but we wanted to talk to you tonight because we felt like, this season, the physicality up front and what you guys have done along the offensive and defensive line have really made a big difference.
Offensive line is a huge, and defensive line is a huge aspect of the team. It's almost like the foundation of the team because, we need to protect Peter, obviously, and give him time and make holes for Peterson. And defensive line needs to go get the quarterback, keep containing the running back. It's definitely important stuff.
It seemed like last year, you guys got pushed around a little bit. We did a Carroll game last year when Carroll got after you guys, and even the game with Belmont in the playoffs. And what was the difference in the offseason? And what was the difference? You guys put the time in the weight room, or what was it that allowed you guys to be better so far this year and to be much more physical?
Just a lot of commitment early on in the season. We just bonded really well over the summer, and we really built something strong, and we knew we had something special. So so we just built something special over the summer, and we just kept it along the season. So
that's awesome. And lastly, what's it feel like, man, to put that big 77 on and put that jersey on and come out here and play for Concordia on Friday nights, man? How much fun is it, and how awesome is it just to come out here in front of all your family and the fans and to play on Friday nights?
It's great. The atmosphere here at Zollner is awesome, almost actually every game. It gives me a ton of adrenaline just like warming up. It's
awesome.
Yeah,
it's
crazy.
I saw you moving around the warm-ups, man, jumping around. So it's fun to come out here on Friday night.
Coaches hype us up. We get hype in the locker room, and we just have a great time with one mindset to win. So
awesome. Well, congratulations. Good luck next week, and good luck the rest of the playoffs. And I know Peter Morrison appreciates all the protection. So 6'6", 240, a big kid and a heck of a high school football player, Joe. So got a chance to talk to him tonight and get a feel for the physicality of Concordia.
Great job, Joe Walburn, down on the turf with Nick Webb, one of the offensive linemen, celebrating this 54-14 Concordia victory here tonight over the Yorktown Tigers. We'll take a timeout, the 3-minute break, and we'll be back with our play of the game, and we'll look at the individual scoring before we turn things out, and also scores from elsewhere when we return to Zoller Stadium. IHSAA football on Fox Sports, 1250 The Ticket.
Every small business person has the same dread: taxes, reports, and bookkeeping. What are you to do? You know you can't afford the big guys to keep you legal and solvent. Well, now there's Walburn Financial Management to save the day. Here's their number. You're going to want to remember this one: 260-459-2240. That's 459-2240. Why? Well, Walburn Financial Management specializes in the little guy. With reasonable rates and sensible retainers, Walburn Financial Management, simply perfect for the small business budget.
Bumper Insulation is celebrating 60 years, so they've seen a few things.
The Civil Rights Act of 1964.
That's one small step for man.
And a few more.
His or her freedom, or the precious gift that is America.
I took the initiative in creating the internet.
So here's Charlie to tell you more.
This is Charlie Momper, Momper Insulation, celebrating 60 years of meeting homeowners and contractors' demands for professional installation. Here's to 60 more, and thank you from Momper Installation.
You've heard the saying, it's all about the Benjamins. Nothing could be more true at Tom Steele Tire, where it's all about saving you money. For over 35 years, this family-owned business has been saving Fort Wayne drivers lots of Benjamins. Offering quality tires and ASE-certified mechanical service for your car, and that includes an oil change and tire rotation special, all for just $24.95. 2 convenient locations in Fort Wayne to serve you. Tom Steele Tire, not just a tire store, but a complete automotive center.
Every great team has focus and talent. At Parkview Sports Medicine, our focus is on you. Our roster includes everything from sports nutrition to keep your body fueled to orthopedic surgery, athletic rehab, and more. Parkview Sports Medicine's got you covered. You can trust us to bring together the top team of experts in sports medicine to improve the performance and treatment of every level of athlete. Go to parkview.com/sportsmedicine to learn more. Parkview Sports Medicine, upgrade your game.
At Indiana Michigan Power, we're building the future of energy delivery. From renewable energy to grid innovation, we're developing a smarter way to power your life. With the addition of 4 new solar power plants, you can take comfort knowing that more than half of the electricity that we generate is emissions-free. I&M is honored to sponsor local area high school sporting events and proud to be your hometown energy provider.
American families are facing a major problem nowadays. It's called extreme student debt. It's affecting graduating students, even those with jobs, for years and years trying to pay off their student loans. But there is help available to students in Northeast Indiana from nonprofit Cuesta Education Foundation. Cuesta is ready to provide low-interest or even forgivable loans to qualified Northeast Indiana students. Take a second look. Check Cuesta to see if your student qualifies for a chance at graduating with as little student loan debt possible. Cuesta can make a difference. And it all starts with simply logging on to QuestaFoundation.org. That's QuestaFoundation.org.
And now back to the IHSAA football game of the week with Joe Parson on Fox Sports 1250, The Ticket.
Concordia advances here tonight at home with a 54-14 win over visiting Yorktown. The Cadets bunched 48 points, Joe Auburn, in the middle 2 quarters. They actually trailed at the end of the first quarter 7-6. They had a pair of Peterson-Curligran touchdown runs that were sandwiched around a 67-yard touchdown jaunt by Dawson Allen on 4th and 1. He went 67 yards into the end zone to give them a 7-6 lead. That second touchdown by Curligran made it 12-7. And then Preston Curligran came in and ran down after Bordner caught a ball to the 1-yard line. 1 play later, the other Curligran, Preston Curligran at the 5:18 mark, made it 19-7 in favor of Concordia. Morrison on a quick slant to Bordner at the 1:26 mark made it 26-7. And then Bordner again after an interception. They took over at the Yorktown 38. It would set up eventually our play of the game tonight on a 24-yard touchdown pass that came with no time remaining, and it sounded like this.
Now we're down to 4.5 seconds. Morrison with a running back lined up. He drops to throw again. Looks, sets his feet, throws in the left corner of the end zone. Look, he's got a man that is caught for a touchdown. Checking the number, I believe that's Anderson Drew, and it is. So it was 3rd and 20, and that one good for 24 yards and a touchdown.
No time remained. The extra point. Kaczynski came in, and what a job he did, Joe, tonight.
Yeah.
He had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row conversions. So from 33 to 7, they would get a 24-yard Peterson curler grand touchdown again from 2 yards out. Then 46-yard Morrison to Anderson drew his second touchdown catch of the night at the 3:23 mark. They weren't done on a pick-six interception by Bordner, returned by 35 yards at the 2:13 mark. Concordia would be done. They would not score again in the fourth quarter. The only score, they did have a Codby interception on a deflection, but it would be Dawson Allen with the final score under just 2 minutes to play, a 3-yard touchdown to make it 54-14. So Concordia advances 8-2. And Joe, they lost to Belmont last year in the sectional semis, 38-7. That's going to be a circle date in the Concordia dressing room because they've got the Braves now coming here next Friday night. We'll be there.
And you were on top of it, and that's what Bordner mentioned when he brought everybody together. After the coach talked and the coach left, Bordner said, these guys took it to us last year. We owe these guys. So that's interesting, and that's the next step. Now they get Belmont. You know, Belmont beats Norwell tonight 39-20, and it's going to be interesting to see because Belmont was just so much more physical than Concordia last year, but this is a different Concordia team, and I felt like, you know, we interviewed Nick Webb really with the idea to talk about the physicality leading to the game next week because Belmont's not going to throw it. Belmont's going to come in here, and they're going to line up, and they're going to run off tackle. So we're going to see. We thought we'd see more passing tonight from Yorktown, and I thought Concordia shut that down, but next week it's all about lining up and who's going to win the line of scrimmage.
How about some of the other results elsewhere?
Yeah, Dwanger gets a late touchdown and comes back and wins. So kind of like last week when Dwanger needed to respond at the end, they did. They beat Marion tonight 22-14. Bishop Luers 42, Northwestern 15. That was a little bit of a surprise to me. I thought Northwestern would play Luers a little bit tougher, but maybe just playing that big boy schedule all season long for Luers and then stepping down and playing Northwestern.
You're not leading with Southside?
We're getting to it. I've already shot my mouth off enough about Southside and Pizza King Pizza that I gotta slow down a little bit. But East Noble 45, DeKalb nothing. New Haven 49, Wayne 7. I thought that would be a little bit closer. I know, you know, New Haven and Snyder are probably the best teams we have seen. I thought Wayne would match up a little bit better, but New Haven's tough. And, you know, as far as New Haven, you know, we thought we would see New Haven have to travel to Leo and kind of prove again what they did, but that's not going to happen. So New Haven's going to match up with Southside. Southside 33, Leo 9. And I know, all I'm going to say is that's been our biggest win in probably 6 or 7 years. So that's a big surprise. So, but again, I mean, you know, Leo's played tough competition, but I think Southside, you know, when you play the Dwanger, you play the Homestead, you play the Snyder, if you can kind of hang together and keep your confidence, but that's a huge win for Southside. Woodland starts their run, 54, Bluffton 6, and that's not that bad of a Bluffton team, but it's that good of a Woodland team. So those were the big scores. Plymouth got a late touchdown to beat Angola. I mean, for some of the teams that foul the ball out in the county, Angola's had a good season. So that was I guess, a really exciting game. As we mentioned, Belmont 39, Norwell 20. So it will be Concordia and Belmont. Another team to keep your eye on was Jimtown was winning big over Heritage. So that might be somebody else down the road for Concordia. But really interesting week one, the playoffs. No big surprises except for Southside, but you know, Dwanger rolls on, Luers rolls on, and for Concordia, tough matchup with Belmont next week, and then in the sectional championship waiting for them, it's probably going to be Bishop Luers.
We will find out, but we'll have the Braves in here to Zollner Stadium. That will be our Friday Night Lights feature. It'll be Concordia, and boy, they just keep on rolling. They win here tonight 54-14. And now they will take a 8-2 record against the Braves here next Friday night. Special thanks to our studio producer. What a job once again by our man in the studio. His name was Patrick Plummer. For Joe, I'm Joe, and we'll see you next Friday night right back here at Zollner Stadium. So long, everybody. Thanks so very much for listening.
You've been listening to